Hey guys, Dishsoap here. In this video, I went over pretty much everything I can think of in Set 11 with my friend Bryce, aka esportslaw. This is not really a very focused video, as it's like really long. If it's too long for you, we'll be uploading a more concise item slash unit tier list when the meta's more developed. But if you had like no idea about anything going into the set, hopefully this vid can help you out a bit. And yeah, let's get into it. I wish I could be doing this on TFT Academy, but that launches with the set, so we're gonna use Tech Tools. Yeah, so these are the traits. Dragon Lord, if you like, it just kind of like Tempest. Or there's one more that was kind of like that. I forgot what it's called, but it's like a board debuff where you do like true damage to everything, and after you get the true damage, your whole team gets attack speed, not like just the Dragon Lord units. That's like a notable thing. So it's like a 2 is a pretty good like flex trait, like just for the attack speed. I think 3 is like the worst breakpoint. Because you're just getting a little bit more damage and a little bit more attack speed, but it's like whatever.
Okay.
4 you get a stun, which is impactful. Like that's like the big jump, and then 5 is just a lot more damage, a lot more attack speed, also pretty big jump.
This feels like the late game splam, like splash trait to me, right? Like it's often splash too, and then if you can play into the vertical, then that can also work really well.
Yeah, it has a lot of like late game synergy because there's some late game Sage units with Diana, late game Invokers, and then the 5 cost backliner is a duelist, so it pairs well with Lee Sin. It's one of the highest cap boards. They've nerfed it a lot, so now it's kind of like reliant on like being super far ahead to be viable, but very likely to be like one of the highest cap traits of the set. Dryad's kind of weird. It's like a scaling trait. You get like a little bit of tiny bit of AP. It's not that relevant except for at 6. And a decent amount of base health. Like it's actually pretty viable to put this in later, even if you don't have any stacks. But every like enemy death with the trade in gets you like more permanent health on your team. You don't have like your dryads don't actually have to kill them or like stay alive or anything. Like you just need to get kills with the trade in.
Okay.
Um,
It's part of what makes the reroll good. Although it seems like the reroll is much more Sin and Gnar than it is Kindred Gnar.
yeah, I the intended way for this to work is you're rerolling Gnar and Kindred, but um people just kind of realized that Gnar was like way better than Kindred, so they just like tried to optimize around him. And optimizing around him meant like only playing 2 Dryad, not playing Kindred, and fitting in more synergies like Wardens and InkShadows and stuff.
Okay, makes sense.
Sorry about that. Faded is like one of the most confusing traits for Twitch chat. I don't think it's that confusing, but you just have to like learn it once. Um, so how Faded works is you put in the trait and then you hover one of your Faded units with another, and then both of them unlock their Faded bonus. It's kind of similar to Ionia, and that like each unit has their own Faded bonus.
Okay.
But just to note, like until you get to 10, the only bonuses you get, like for all your Fadeds, are just the 2 that you have paired. So even though Ari's Faded bonus is AP, if you're not pairing her with if you're not using her in the pair, you're not going to get AP on her at all.
Okay.
So at 3, it's just the pair gets their Faded bonus. So for example, if it's like Ari and Kindred, if you have Ari, Kindred, Yasuo, and you're pairing Ari and Kindred, Kindred's attack speed, so you'll get AP and attack speed on Ari and Kindred, and Yasuo will get nothing.
Okay.
And
Are
then
there typical, are there common pairings like you all like you when you play this trait? It's like you're usually playing like this or this, and you always pair these two.
that's actually kind of a debate right now, but
Okay.
I'll like go over like what people are thinking. And then at 5, all the Faded units you get the 2 like get the pair bonus, and then it gets increased, and then it gets increased again at 7.
Okay.
I've seen this usually. It seems pretty spat reliant because the 7's a huge spike, and you can't get 7 without set, and just getting like extra stats on units really good.
Is it craftable or no?
It's craftable. It's rod, I think.
Okay.
I think the meta right now is like Yasuo Thresh. It's just it's hit him out of defensive. Yasuo's Faded bonus, I believe, is just a 350 shield, which just like it just gets increased like crazy. Like you get like 1,000 HP shield. on everyone at 7.
That's pretty insane.
And then Thresh is like just a bunch of like armor and more like 60 or 70. I forgot how much.
Wait, wait. You're telling me that the vertical of this trait gives 1,000 shield on everyone and gives like 70 armor and MR to everyone?
Yeah, yeah, and the shield doesn't expire, so it's like you can get some like crazy defensive going.
Wait, what? Just
Yeah.
on paper, isn't that just like completely absurd?
Yeah, kinda.
I mean, haven't we had huge problems in this game with traits that required like a lot more investment that did similar things defensive stats wise?
Yeah, like it's like kind of balanced around the fact that like the only frontliners in the comp until you get to set is like a 1 cost and a 3 cost. But you can probably just like frontline your Kindred and Aphelios, like maybe.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, like just the problem with this, or like the thing you have to figure out how to do is just deal enough damage with this. Syndra is decent, like she's your main carry. She's like the blue buff AP holder. Like if you're going like the Yasuo Thresh build, you might want to just give her like full damage, like Archangel or something.
Sure.
But outside of that, it can maybe be a little bit of a challenge to get a bunch of damage in. I wouldn't say this is like been like busted when I've played, but
This feels like one of those lines that is far from optimized, and
For
then
sure.
at some point in time in the set, someone's going to figure out the optimized version of it, and it's going to be like it's going to be Ari Sentinel until it gets Giga nerfed.
yeah, I think there's like actually like some even more egregious front lines going on right now.
Okay, interesting.
So that's yeah.
Okay.
And then Fortune is the lost streak trait. Pretty standard. The only difference, or there's actually a few differences. Is that your cash out round doesn't require you to win, but the round that you cash out is random. It rolls a dice 1 to 6, and then after you get to that, like the end of it, you can choose to either I forgot what the actual thing is called, but I just call it raise the stakes. You can choose to just raise the stakes or cash out.
So wait, when does the die roll happen? Do you have to choose raise the stakes and then it rolls the die?
Yes, you don't know how long it is before you press the button, so it's just gambling. Okay, it's called push your luck.
Okay.
So like the inherent risk of the trade is that if you're like an optimal player, and your spot is like acceptable, you are not pressing push the luck without like 6 lives at least, right?
Yeah, which I kind of hate.
Yeah.
But probably makes it really, really, really fun for casuals.
Yeah, there's definitely like a lot of interesting moments. Winning with the trait does not like instantly like cash you out or anything like raise the stakes. It I believe it takes away either 5 or 10% of your points. I think it's called luck. And it resets like the amount of luck you're getting per turn down to 0, which is like the actual punishment. So winning is like really, really bad. Winning one fight right before you're about to cash out is fine, but like winning anywhere in between your loss streak is like kind of game losing.
How does the luck interact? It's basically the amount of luck that it dictates the rewards. Because it says you convert your luck into rewards. So if you lose luck, you're losing like reward value. You're basically moving down.
Yes.
The loot table.
So I forgot like exactly how this works. Like someone probably figured it out, but basically every single loss you get increases the amount of luck you gain per turn. I don't know. I don't remember like the exact mechanics off the top of my head, but winning resets the amount that you're getting per turn like down to like 1, I think, and I think it like builds on top of each other.
Oh, okay.
So
it's like basically it's like you said, like if you win the last one, it's not a big deal. But if you like in the middle of it, then you're basically waiting multiple turns for whenever your cash out's actually going to happen, and you're not really picking up more loot as a result of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like all of like the quote unquote issues aside, it's extremely powerful because it's a lost streak trait. You don't have to like win to cash out. Yeah. Which I don't think people really have realized how powerful that is yet, because I don't see anyone bitching about it. But once people get like way better at like rolldowns and transitions, it's just kind of free.
I mean, if you think about like the way in which the cadence of it works out, historically you would have to roll really deep on level 7 to
Yeah.
guarantee cash outs, but now it sounds like you don't. You just continue to greed econ and you just all in on 1 or 2 lives at level 8.
Yeah, the dream is that you 10 loss, like you get 5 into 5 or something, and then you cash out on wolves, and then you roll down on 4-1 or 4-2 with all your extra resources. And I really have not seen anyone lose the game if they get in a spot like that. The table's pretty good. I think like all the rewards are like there's probably like some outliers that are like really really bad, really really good. I haven't really gone into it, but I haven't really ever been disappointed with what I've gotten. Um, at 5 fortune, it doesn't like increase the amount of luck you're getting. It's just like a metabolic effect. Um, it's kind of whatever. You play it if you hit it, but it's not like that big of a deal.
Okay.
And then I haven't ever played 7 fortune. It's probably broken or probably worth to play it. And there's actually like a 9 fortune hidden synergy that just wins the game immediately. But that's just like a for fun thing. You need 4 uncraftable emblems. So
Okay. Sounds good. Okay, so
um
it's basically a always play on 2-1, 2-2, and then after that you have to think about it.
yeah. The nice thing about it though is that before you raise the stakes, if you just put in 3 fortune units, it'll roll the dice for you. So like before you actually like commit to like playing it for a PvP round, like you could just put it in on like 2-3 or whatever, and if it rolls like I don't know, a number you want, like you would know about it.
What's the numbers that you want? What are the numbers you're excited to see when you put it in on 2-3?
I'm not sure about that, but I got it in on like 3-1 after I win streak but had a weak board, and then I rolled a 5 and I was like, oh, I can just lose streak for the rest of the stage.
Okay.
And then I got a tome, so I'm down to 5 loss with a weak board for a tome on stage 3.
Okay, makes sense.
Ghostly, kind of a weird trait. Oh wait, it's pretty powerful though. Um, it's whenever ghostly units deal or take damage 6 times, they send 2 little specters that attach to enemies, and then the ghostly units themselves heal 3% max health every 2, which is pretty relevant, honestly. The specters, like, it's kind of hard to see you getting value out of this ghostly trait because it's not like visually captivating. Like, it's just like some little blue orbs that circle around these units. So it kind of just looks like it's doing nothing, but they increase the damage the enemies take, and then when someone dies with specters on him, it goes to more enemies.
Okay.
2 ghostly is pretty powerful because like a lot of these units can just be flexed into a lot of comps. You just get
So
extra damage on enemy team.
There's no 5 cost, but like
No.
Kane is a pretty easy splash. It feels like Morgana's probably a decent utility splash. Alawi's seems really good. Like Aatrox's Bruiser as well. So it's just like a loss that can fit.
So yeah, so Aatrox and Alawi are 3 traits, and Aatrox, Shen, and Alawi are all like part of every single like frontline trait in the game.
Okay.
So like if you're playing Warden, you can fit like Alawi in, Behemoth, Shen, Bruiser, Aatrox, whatever. Caitlyn Sniper pairs with like Ashe and Aphelios sometimes. It's pretty easily to get ghostly in those comps.
Okay.
And then Kayn and Morgana are the carries. Kayn is just melee, probably. I mean, he's definitely the best melee 4 cost. Fits a similar role to Zed in the set, or Zed less set.
Yeah.
And then Morgana used to be kind of broken. She got lots and lots of nerfs. She's okay though. She's kind of like a supportive carry, I guess. She chills enemies, does a little bit of damage, and applies Morello. But she has good traits. Sage is another like supportive trait like Ghostly. So she has 2 supportive traits.
Okay.
And like semi-supportive ability.
Okay.
But yeah. I haven't really experimented with anything above 4. And even then 4 is just like something you play in mid-game because the units are all okay.
Makes sense. It feels like there's gonna be a lot of 4 cost like the more I see the 4 costs, the more I feel like there's a lot of room for 4 cost flex play this set, and just in terms of tree design.
Yeah, that's like the area of the game I haven't really interacted with the most because 1, I don't think it's like actually that powerful right now, and
Sure.
2, it's just kind of hard.
Yeah, makes sense.
Heavenly is kind of their guild reprint this set. From set 7. It's every unit that you put in your team grants your team like a unique bonus, and like a little bit of synergy in between that. It doesn't show on this website, but it increases 50% at 2-star and I believe 90% at 3-star. So like upgrading these units are important. The difference with like this and guild is that you have to like put in 2 to get a bonus. Like guild, you could get bonus at 1. And another one is that there's no like benefit. There's no like extra benefit to the heavenly units themselves. Meaning heavenly spat is not actually you don't want to put it on anyone good.
Yeah,
unlike guild spat.
3% Omnivamp is pretty sus. I don't remember what it was on guild, but I remember that spat was really good.
Oh no, it's not even that. Like I think the guild spat was also Omnivamp. It's just that the guild trait made it so like all guilds like gain like I don't remember the percentage. Like they just gained like an extra like 50% guild bonus or something. That doesn't exist with this. So you put your like every time I play Heavenly, people are asking like where do I put my spat? And the answer is you just put it on like the worst unit on your team. That's upgraded. Yeah. Decent synergy. It hasn't really been explored that much what comps you really want to play this around. There is like reroll Heavenly. I don't think it's that good, honestly, but it exists. I've been like experimenting around like 4-cost melee with Heavenly, because Kayn and Lee Sin share a lot of traits with these.
Okay.
But we can go over like comps later.
Yep.
InkShadow is kind of weird. It's just a trait that gives you items. There's like a little bit of like bonus damage and damage reduction to like it's like a balance lever basically. It's not really that impactful. You just get. I mean, maybe I can find the items actually. You just get InkShadow items. Okay, they probably have it on like the team builder or something. Yeah.
Tattoos.
Yeah, they're called tattoos. I don't know how to evaluate them. They used to be like really, really broken. But then they like nerfed every single one of them, and I haven't really been able to evaluate them.
Okay.
We can go over each one of them. Bombardment, 2080 attack speed, and then every third attack fires bolt to lowers personnel that deals attack damage. You just put this on your 80 carry. I think this one's probably the best one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you like see it, like check for it early, and if you see that, then you're like much more inclined to play around it?
Yeah, it's different for everyone, but if you mouse over like InkShadow, like your trait, you can like if you put in like one InkShadow in, you can mouse over and see what items you get.
Oh wait, you can actually see it before you have the trait in.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
So like so you only need one InkShadow unit to be able to check. That's actually really good to know.
You can also check in the team planner as well. So.
Oh shit. Okay.
You don't get like Skamaz like taking 2-1 like Zonspat without knowing anything.
That's actually really nice. That's a nice quality of life improvement.
Tattoo of Force, Armor Namar, and then whenever they acquire a new target, they dash and stun them and dealing magic damage and get more stats. Apparently this one's just like super, super buggy. I had this one in tournament and apparently it was like not proccing like half the time. But when it procs, it's like really good.
Okay.
It just gets a bunch of extra stuns damage, and it's just a tanky item. Tattoo of Fury is another one of the damage ones. Deals 35% bonus damage below half health, and then you get 40% attack speed on takedown. Honestly, I don't know which one's actually better. I would assume Bombardment's better, but there's not really that much like strategy with them. Like you just put backline on backline and then frontline on frontline.
Hey, I mean, I'm putting these fucking damage ones on my Volibear. I'm pretty sure Volibear 1 is like among the most broken stage 2 units that they've ever printed. Just from the limited amount I've observed, the number of just unlawful things that Volibear 1 has done in stage 2 is insane.
How recently have you looked at this Volibear unit?
I mean, over the weekend.
Okay. Yeah, he's okay. He like kind of falls off a lot though.
Yeah, he falls off like crazy. I'm purely talking about stage. I mean, the number of times I would like look at fights and someone's like Volibear 1 would 1v4 without very much investment was insane.
Yeah, stage 2. This guy got like 50% nerfed or something. Like it was actually crazy. But yeah. And then Tattoo of Protection. I think this one's like probably the best tank one. You get a 50% max health shield. It's after you cast. I forgot it's like not based on your HP. So I built this with Val once. It felt pretty good. Okay. And then when the shield breaks, like it spreads to 2 nearest enemies, just a bunch of shield on your team for free. Tattoo of Toxins, the anti-heal one, gives AD and AP. and then just does like a little damage over time, and then does anti-heal. So
Okay.
you get this, you don't have to build anti-heal. And then Vitality, I think this is the worst one. I could be wrong, but it's just attacks heal the Holer for max health, and then do bonus damage based on max health. I mean, I guess you could put this on a Volibear. It's good on him, but yeah. I guess it's also good on Udyr. But basically this trait is really, really hard to play more than 3, in my opinion, just because the units don't really have any synergy with each other. And like 5 would probably just be for a tempo thing. 7 used to be pretty decent just because the items were broken. But I don't think it's gonna be really, really hard to win any rounds with all of these units on your board and like down an augment slot to get the emblem.
Oh.
Like the units share like no traits, and there's like no like the only like synergy you can activate is you can put a Shin for like Ghostly and Behemoth for Udyr. Like there's like
Pog.
This trait web is kind of cooked.
Okay.
The way people are playing right now, there's like Senna Nari roll
Yep.
that plays 3 InkShadow, and if they buff Kaisa, you probably definitely want to get InkShadow in if the item is reasonable, and you could just play Kaisa Udyr plus like Jax or Aatrox if you for whatever frontline you need.
The relative power level of these items is like roughly equivalent to an Ornn item, or more closely akin to like just a standard completed item.
It's probably somewhere in between.
Okay.
I don't think they're as good as Ornn items, but I think they're probably better than normal ones.
Okay.
Mythic is kind of like Warlord from past sets.
But you don't have to win, right?
No, you don't have to win. You have to play them. You do get a counter for playing them on neutrals, but you don't get counters on them for playing them in rounds like without the trade in. So you can't just play like a Kog'Maw on your board for 4 turns, put a Mythic, and it's already ascended.
Okay.
You have to have the trade in. But you just gain health, AD, AP. And the carries of this are like Bard, Lilia Hui. The carries are like really, really good. Nautilus is a decent CC tank. But after that, I don't think the units are that good. Like Nico's like an early game, kind of falls off. Okay, people are telling me they fix it on neutrals.
Okay.
My bad. I don't think that's that relevant though. But
I mean, the Lilia Flex stuff I see usually just plays 3. You just play Nautilus, Lilia, TK.
Yeah, the thing is like 5 is actually a pretty big like jump in power.
Yeah.
Usually though, you're playing like when you're playing 5, you're playing around like Bard. Bard's like incredible this set. We can go over him later.
Oh yeah, I have one Bard game. I played like 5 or 6 games, and one of them is a Bard game, and it was super fun. I love this unit.
Yeah, a lot of people are playing him right now to like reroll him with Tom Kench, and personally, I found more success just like using him to fast 9. Yeah.
Oh.
Because I don't think Kench 3. I don't think Kench in general is very good, and I'd rather just get 9 for like Lilia Hui and 4-cost frontline, and just have a Bard too. But that might change.
You move items when you do that, or do you just like keep carrying Bard 2 at 9?
Oh, I just keep the Bard 2. Bard 2 is pretty good.
Okay.
Like Bard is crazy.
Very good. I like this unit. I'm fine with it.
Porcelain is a really, really powerful trait. It's after casting, they gain attack speed and DR. Both the stats are very good, and 3 of the units are good. Lux is the odd one out. I think this unit is like pretty bad. She like stuns, and if you put Morella on her, she can do stuff, but she doesn't do that much damage. Amumu's crazy. His spell basically like when he casts his spell, he's always under the effects of Porcelain, because the Porcelain effect lasts 3 seconds and his spell lasts, or Porcelain lasts 4, his spell lasts 3.
Holy.
He just like heals himself just a tiny bit of damage. Ash is just the backline 80 every single set. Yep. Has like a lot of scaling in her trait. So you want to like keep her alive. So, but yeah, it's really easy to do with Porcelain, and she goes off attack speed, which Porcelain gives. Best version of Ash is like Ash gets a lot better with the Porcelain spat, because you just fit in these 3 Porcelain
you fit in
spat.
the 3 ones. Yep, makes sense.
And then
is that craftable?
Yeah, it's a bow spat.
Okay.
And Lysandra is the item farmer of the set, like Kiana. She's pretty good. She like really, really shuts down melee. I think she's like the only thing keeping Yone like somewhat in check. Um, yeah, this is like the unit I'm like scared of the most when I'm playing melee.
Okay.
She just like stuns a unit, deals 1 million damage to them, and if they die, 50% chance to get an item.
She's also, both of her traits are 2 splash, so I assume that makes her like a really good, anytime you're fast 9 and you're playing against melee carries, you just always want to play Lysandra.
Yeah, I haven't really figured out like how to like actually fit around like flex boards. Um, like she fits in really well with Faded. She fits in really well with like Ash, but um, I don't really know what I fit her on the center past 9. There's probably like lots of ways.
I mean, it feels
But
like you just play. I would just play her with Mummy, and then Mummy's a warden, right? So you just play who's the 4 cost warden?
not, but I don't know. Personally, like I only really see her pop off like when I'm playing her with Ash or Syndra.
Okay.
But that just could be like what I don't understand how to do yet.
Yep.
Story Reaver is the summon trait of the set. But it's like a backline summon. It's Kale.
Yep.
I when I first heard of this trait, I thought like the effects would be like random and there'd just be like a bunch of them, but there's just like 3 for every level and they're always the same. Um, at 3, it's Shred, like her attacks like Shred and Sunder, or you get like adjacent units gain attack speed or AP. Usually you're just taking Shred, just because it opens up your item slams.
Yep.
But for like sometimes you can take attack speed or AP.
Well, I imagine it depends a little bit on whether or not you're intending to play it for, like, if you think it's gonna be a decent chance as part of your core line, right? Because you can't re-choose later, so I
Yeah,
assume
yeah.
Shred is like the generic fit later, and you can then not have to waste items on Shred. But I assume earlier, like the attack speed, just on paper, attack speed sounds like it would be stronger to me.
Oh, really? I'm pretty much taking Shred like 80% of the time, like 90% of the
Okay.
time, maybe.
Interesting.
Like
Okay.
even if I'm just like flexing it in. I
Okay.
don't know. Maybe the math is wrong, but I just assume like your whole team dealing 30% more damage to the front line is good, or like
Yeah.
they're taking 30% more.
But it's on her cast that it shreds, right?
It's on auto.
Oh, it's on auto. Okay, so you
Yeah.
can shred to start the fight. Okay, okay.
5. I think this is like the weakest breakpoint. It's like it gives her either like a bigger wave or scaling attack speed, and both of them are kind of mid. For what it's worth, like she gains more stats, like the more upgrades you have, kind of like cultist
Sure.
or country or whatever. And then 7, it's either a revive every 8 seconds, like revive your strongest unit at 50% HP, or the last one just like it's a carry one, but I forgot exactly what it does. It's like either more attack speed. Okay, I actually forgot what it was, but yeah, I don't think those are very good either.
So as a vertical, it's just not very good.
Yeah, the thing is like it's really like the trait web is like really good. So you're not really giving them that much to fit it. It's just I don't think the kill is that impressive. Okay, apparently it's 10% more damage and more AoE. Also I heard the revive is like bugged right now, so there's also that.
Okay.
I don't know. It's a really easy comp to play, and I expected to do like be like really good in the stats, but I don't think it's very strong.
Okay.
Oh, also apparently like Aurelia is bugged as well. So that's like another problem with like
Wait, just
playing
the
7 of
unit,
these. Just
not
just the
not
unit.
interactive with. Okay.
Yeah. But like these units are really good. Galio Riven +1 Story River is like core in a lot of comps.
Yep.
And then you just keep the shred.
Okay.
So that's like usually how I'm interacting with it. But
And Zyra is a Sage Splash, and Zoe is an Arcanist Splash, right?
yeah, and then sometimes like Garen rolls like Exalted,
Warden.
and he's Warden as well, yeah.
Oh yeah, I still don't understand Exalted, but I guess that's next, right?
And then if Aurelia is more viable, it's like you can go Riven, Galio, Aurelia, and then you can
Sure.
fit in all like the Dragon Lords and stuff.
Okay.
Umbral is I don't know, it's kind of like KDA. You get a bunch of hexes on your board,
Yeah, I've
but
seen it. There's only like 2 versions, right?
yeah,
It's like mirrors of each other.
yeah, it's like right side, left side.
Okay.
Um, left side's probably better because you get the cubby.
Yep.
But I don't know. Uh, so you get like a flat shield, and Umbral units in the hexes can execute. It's not non-umbral units can execute. Like a lot of people in Twitch chat will just backseat you, like, bro, Morgana, not on the hex, you roll execute. But it's only the umbral units. And I don't know. This trait's pretty good, mostly just because the units are good. But flat shield and execute in the early game is fantastic, and 1,000 shield for your whole team is pretty good. I wouldn't ever play 6 without spat though, but I think it's decent to fit in with spat. Usually, the way you interact with this trait is like sometimes you're flexing around Set and Silas late game, but usually it's just like Yone reroll, like Yone a Loon reroll.
Okay.
But pretty good trait.
And you also, I mean, the invoker boards you just play Silas and Loon, right?
I don't think like sometimes. Usually you're playing around like other stuff though.
Cool.
I think Silas is like probably like 20% of the time on the invoker boards.
Okay.
Because usually the invoker comps are based more on like Lilia.
Yeah, but I assume it's a yes and, right? Like in my head, like Silas's front line, you splash the other 4-cost Bruiser, Galio, you play a Loon, so you get free Umbral value.
Yeah, for sure. The thing is, I mean, when we like make the comp, it'll be like a little more obvious, just because like it's kind of like a situation where there's like there's too much you need to fit, kind of deal.
Fair enough.
Sniper, not really any different than last set sniper. At 6 you gain an extra 2x range. I think 6 is like kind of good, like really good, but I think you probably only play it from like a wandering trainer.
Sure.
There's like a gold wandering trainer augment that's really powerful. If you get sniper from that, you can probably play 6 sniper.
Wait, it just gives you 2 instead.
Yeah, it's 2 instead of 3, but it's like that's really good.
That's really good. Yeah. Plus you get the dummy.
Yeah. The dummy's the main thing, because you would just be lacking infinite frontline if you tried to play this.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing really special. Ash main carry, Aphelios is like the reroll. Senna's actually, she's played with Gnar, but I think the comp is more of a Gnar comp than a Senna comp.
Yep.
And you can sometimes reroll Caitlyn in the Gnar comp, but she's just kind of a trait bot in my opinion.
Okay.
Altruist is really weird trait. The power level of the trait lies in the Armor MR, but the units themselves heal the lowest health ally for 15% of the damage they deal. Not the craziest thing, but giving your whole team Armor MR for units that have lots of supportive traits, like Ribbon's the Bruiser Story Weaver, Soraka's Heavenly, that's like a flex with Wukong, and then Rakan's the Dragon Lord.
Yeah.
So it's like really easy to fit these units on your in-game board, but like the healing and stuff they did was minimal. Ultra Spat's insane, just because it's like 20 Armor MR if you can make it to Rakan.
So if you have Ultra Spat, you're almost always playing 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like the healing is like not that relevant. I remember putting it on like a Teemo 2 when it was healing like 300 per turn or something, like at most. So it's not that crazy. Arcanist, just AP. I haven't really seen that much success with like 4-6, but I think this is like the comp I've explored the least. Usually when I'm playing Arcanist, I'm just playing like I played like Zoe Roll and Story Weaver, and I played like Faded Syndra. But I haven't really just ever gone for like 6 Arcanist or whatever.
It's pretty straightforward. At some point in the set, it'll be good, right? Just
yeah.
Let's win.
I think the 4 breakpoint is like really underwhelming though. It's just 25 AP for the Arcanist.
6 is an insane spike though. Like,
yeah.
Insane.
I don't know. I think it's just like a little awkward.
Okay.
It's mostly just because I think Syndra operates way better in Faded than this comp, and I'm not sure if Zoe, like 6 Arcanist Zoe is really the move, but maybe it is. Artist, this is just Hui's like unique trait. It means he can just like paint, or he can copy units over a certain amount of turns.
Wait, is Hui guy or girl?
I think he's a guy.
Okay.
But it doesn't work.
Does his star level impact it, or is it only the star? Is it only just the cost of the unit you're trying to copy?
It's just the cost of the unit. It used to scare, like 2-star used to print more, but they reverted that.
Okay.
So yeah, it's like It's how many turns is based on the star level. So one class has 1 turn, 5 classes 5 turns.
Yep.
Doesn't work on neutrals. I found the most success with this. It's either like duplicating your 4 cost if you hit him on like your 4-2 roll down or something.
Sure.
Like reading for like the 5 cost dupe later, or he's like really really good if you like pick him up in like a 2 or 3 cost reroll. Like say you get him on like late game carousel or something.
Yeah.
It just lets you push levels and then you'll eventually natural the units.
Yep.
Also if you're just holding like 6 1 cost sometimes, like that's just 3 turns for a 3-star. It's pretty good.
How does it work? How does it work if you like let's say you put a 4 cost in there and then you hit your natural upgrade? Can you put a new 4 cost in there and it doesn't reset the timer?
You can like when you put a unit in the hex, like you can like swap it every turn.
But
I'm not really understanding your question.
Does it reset? So okay, so it's you let's say you put a Kane in there for 2 turns and then you hit Kane 2. Can you put a new 4-cost in and it's so you count so but if you put a 5-cost in, does it count the 2 charges in as 3 more turns, or does it when you put a 5? Okay, so it always saves the number of charges no matter what, and you can put whatever you want in there off that number of charges.
The charges are only consumed when something is printed. I think though, like if you have like 4 turns on it and you put like a 3-cost in, I think it would go down to 0. Like I don't think it would go down to 1, but yeah, you can like swap it out every single turn or whatever if you need to.
Okay.
Behemoth. Personally, I think they like named these traits wrong. There's Behemoth and Warden. I believe Warden in the past gave you Armor and Amar.
It did. And
like Behemoth sounds pretty similar to Colossus, and Colossus gave DR. So I don't really understand the trait names. And you cannot tell me Thresh is a Behemoth. You cannot convince me. or Shen. But anyways, like that's just the trait. It goes Armor and Amar, and then when a Behemoth dies, it like they pass their stats on the nearest Behemoth, or just 50% more of this bonus.
Okay.
I think it's probably the weakest frontline trait between like bruisers and wardens, but that just I think the units are alright, but it's usually you're just like flexing too.
Okay.
Shen and York have hero augments, and you probably play more than 2 if you have those, but I haven't really seen it otherwise.
Okay. Are both those hero augments good? Like, are you picking them and playing them when you see them?
York's one used to be really really good. It got nerfed. Sorry, it got nerfed a lot. It's probably just like you wait to see what the stats are. I don't think the Shen's one is very good though. So,
okay.
Yeah, that's just like I wait and see the stats. Bruiser, it's just Bruiser. We've had this every single set.
Yep.
I think 8's pretty bad. Just because like if you're like a lot of these Bruisers have like lots of trait tie-ins, but if you're playing 8s, you can only choose like one of them on level 8. It feels pretty bad. So I think it's like 6 max, and like usually just 2 or 4.
Makes sense. With Spat, 6 is easy to fit, and you can play a bunch of splash.
Yeah.
Drop the 1-cost, I'm assuming.
Yeah, one of like the cheapest flexes you can do is just like 4 Bruiser with always Galio, Riven, plus like a Story Weaver. And then you just go Silas, and then depending on what traits you go either Aatrox or Kench.
Makes sense.
4 Bruiser is like the standard like level 7 board reroll board. It's probably something you want to get out of late game, but it's like really really strong on level 7.
Okay.
I think Galio's the like best just pure frontliner in the game. He like scales his armor to Mar, so Stoneplate's just like insane on him. His taunt's pretty good, and he can like shield your whole team. I'm usually like itemizing Galio 1 over like a lot of other 2-star units.
Okay.
Duelist, really really similar to Set A Duelist. You just gain attack speed, and then 6 and 8 give you DR. I think the comp also like it feels like kind of they just reprinted the entire idea of Set A Duelist. There's like a backline one like Vayne that dashes around. There's like a frontline AP tank one, and then there's the 4-cost one. I don't know.
Is Lee Sin for real as a carry?
He's like he's okay. I only think he only like seems impressive with items when you're playing 6+ duelists. In my head is more of just like a supportive unit otherwise.
Okay. I saw a guide about tanking him in vertical duelist. Do you agree or disagree with that? Like playing just main tanking him, like Bramble Declaw, Warmox type of vibe.
I mean, you could probably put those items on him, but I don't know if you if it'd be that good. Um, in my head, I think you probably want 0 tank items in this comp. You would just want like utility on Volibear, melee on Kiana, Lisa, and then just putting all of your items, all of your good items on Trist.
Okay.
It's probably like you, especially with Aurelia in the state right now. It's probably like never like a play for win comp. It's just like if you could tempo into a top 4, like a spat check as well.
Okay.
Exalted is the trait you said you were like really confused about. It's probably one of their more complicated ones. The Exalted every single game switches up. I think there's like it's like 60, 70, or 80 pools of units. And it can't like so what it does is like at the start of the game, like 5 or 6 units will become Exalted as their 3rd trait. No 3 trait units can roll this. And when you put 3 in, you get a damage buff based on your level. And at the end of your turn, you get like a soul core that sells for 1 XP. The reason it doesn't just give you 1 XP at the end of the round is so like people can reroll it sometimes and you don't want to push levels. Sure. But you can just sell it every single turn. It doesn't really make a diff. And it's just a damage buff. The controversy right now is that some of them are like really, really easy to fit in onto boards. And some of them are just impossible to fit in. Right now, people don't know. Like, there's no like some people have gone through like all of them and like made comps for it, but it's not like widely understood.
I saw a Reddit thread of someone who had literally gone through all of them and like evaluated the relative strength and like what you play from each spot.
I don't think it's something you can play every game, but if you're in a spot for it, it's like an insane way to cap your board just because it's just extra damage if your comp fits.
Do you check your like is it as if it's the lower right hand corner thing that you just look at it and see? Okay, so you check it every game, or do you have like a list of the ones that when you see it inclines you to play a certain way?
I don't have like a list. Like I just like remember them from my previous games. There is this one. I saw this one a couple times in the tournament. This is the one that needs to like I don't know.
The 1-cost one?
No, they need to do something about this one. Oh, it's not Yone. It's so broken I can remember it off the top of my head. I believe it's like the 3 cost is like Trist. Doesn't really matter though. And then I think it's Garen. This one's crazy. Kha'Zix and Kayn share a trait. Garen and Galio share a trait. And like Lily is like the best backliner. So I don't know. And there's like 2 ways to play it. But also like every single player in the game will like be playing Galio in this one. It's really stupid. Like the Kayn, like you could like the 4 Reaper board can like actually just play Galio as their frontline. The Lilia board can play Galio as their frontline. And then like you're not even losing anything. It's just really dumb.
Okay.
I even played like 5 Exalted with this and I just won the game for free because I had items for everyone.
Okay.
There's other like really good ones, but this is like the most egregious one, I think. Yeah. But definitely a trait that'll be like more explored. But right now it's just I don't know if you think you can fit it, it's probably worth playing. Like the way I like went about it is you just like try to find like the missing link in between the units. I mean we could just use that as an example for like.
So are they intentionally all these pools are not overlapping like none of them share traits on purpose?
Yeah.
Okay, so then it's just the question is how well do they naturally have other units that bridge the gaps?
So yeah, like if you're like Yorick, Ashe, and then I don't even know if this is an actual thing. Like just for example, a way you could do this is like you see Yorick, Ashe, and then like the first thing that comes to mind is like how to get an Umbral in. Yep. Like these are all like 3 missing links. Like Aphelios is your sniper link. Thresh is your behemoth link, and then Set like links them all together. But yeah, like that's how you kind of want to be thinking about it. Okay. I don't really remember off the top of my head, so I don't really want to go into it too much, but
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, it seems like at some point in time, worth the effort to actually go through all of them and think and like do a like tier ranking and get yourself spot recognition. It's like very in keeping with the way you play, right? Is being able to like more aggressively adjust to this.
yeah,
It's
I've
like part of the
also
reason why you were a better admin player, for example.
yeah, like part of the vibe I've gotten from Riot is that it's actually something they're like tweaking actively. So what the pools look like in a month might be really, really different than what they look like right now.
Yeah,
So
makes sense.
I'm not like
Yep.
spending too much time worrying about it.
Okay.
Wukong, or this is just Wukong trait. I don't even know what this does, by the way. No idea. Uh, like it just makes his traits. It makes his spell get like permanently stronger every 3 casts. I don't know like what it does. Like if it does like more damage, if it stuns longer,
Yeah.
or what. But yeah,
I now understand why like blue buff Wukong is the thing.
yeah, it's big. Okay, apparently it's just bigger AOE. Sure.
Yeah. Great.
Invoker pretty similar to Invoker from the past, but I think the units are like a lot better than Set 9 or whatever. Set 9 Invokers were pretty trash.
Yeah.
Lilia is like probably the best AP carry right now, and he's one of the best frontliners. Azir's really good late game. Alune and Janna are good for mid game. Personally, I found more success with 4 Invoker, just to like fit in more supportive traits. Like it's kind of hard to fit in 2 Mythic if you're trying to play 6 Invoker or 3 Mythic. And stuff like Orin for Dryad. I have more success with 4, and for that reason, I think the spat's pretty bad. But I think this is a pretty good comp though. Still, mostly just because the units are good.
Yep.
Lovers is just Rakan and Zaya. If you want Rakan, you put him in the front. If you want Zaya, you put her in the back.
Yep.
Rakan is just like the flex one, and you play Zaya if you're playing trick shot. I guess like if you natural a Zaya 2 and like level 8 and you have 80 items, you can just do that. But I think I've really only seen Zaya pop off when you were playing around like 4 trick shot Bard or Teemo or something.
Yeah.
If they make Kaisa really good, that it'll be a good duo carry. But right now Kaisa is just kind of underwhelming, so usually it's just Rakan.
Sounds like they both are underwhelming, right? Like so they've fixed that in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Okay.
Reaper. It plays pretty similar. I mean, okay, let me backtrack. It's just like a crit trait. Like all of like if you put in 2 in, they gain the ability to crit and they gain crit chance, and then 4 is the bleed. I was gonna say it plays pretty similarly to Crowd Diver, but like the traits don't really have that much like in common. But it's just like you're rerolling Yone and another 4-cost melee.
Yeah.
I think both Yone and Kayn are pretty good. I think the other 2 are kind of shit. So usually I'm only playing 4 Reaper with a emblem, but I think the Reaper emblem's like really, really good.
Is it craftable?
No, it's just yeah, it's just the one you get from Augment.
Okay.
So
you
yeah.
see it and you like immediately want to play towards 4 Reaper?
Yeah, if you have like melee items or something.
Yep.
Yone is just like the 3-cost melee. He's really, really good. And then we already kind of talked about Kayn.
Yep.
Sage is kind of like strategist from Set 9, but instead of like shield in the front line, it's Omnivamp, which makes it like a lot better.
Okay.
Like the backline AP is like whatever though, until you get to 5, that needs like an emblem. It's a really, really easy flex because like Kayn, Morgana, Wukong is just a thing. Storeweaver and Dragonlord are like it's kind of the like really, really easy things to fit in. So this is like a trait you'll have on your board very often.
Feels like Diana, because her 2 traits she's just gonna be like a must buy on all flex roll downs.
She definitely goes in a lot of boards. I wouldn't like a lot of boards don't play this stuff though.
Okay.
Like if you're trying to fit this with like Ashe for example or like Syndra, like you're gonna have a hard time. But
yeah, I more mean like flex roll downs, like level 9 roll downs than I because like obviously
yeah.
level 8 roll downs you're often gonna be playing towards a specific line and it's not always gonna make sense to play those 2 traits.
Yeah, she's just a late game trait bot kind of deal.
Huh.
Udyr, they probably just didn't want to put too much on his spell, so they made part of his spell like a trait.
Yeah. Oh, good thing they did that. That it looks like there's not a lot going on in the tooltip, so it's fine.
Yeah, so basically when he gets to 50% health, he just heals to full and then drops aggro and then becomes he becomes like Scion when he dies. Like just think of this guy like Scion. He has a CC on his first cast and then when he dies he
Well, he
goes
doesn't not when he
tiger mode.
dies, when he like
50% health, yeah.
yeah. Okay.
But he's just like a lot of effective frontline. He's probably worth playing over like traits. Like you would play like set 5 volley and set 9 Scion over like traits very regularly.
Okay.
But right now I'm an idiot and I play traits, but like it's pretty likely that you just play random Moodier a lot of the time.
Okay.
Trick shot is kind of it was like the set 4 trait. I forgot what that was called. But
I know what you mean. Yeah.
yeah, but like the spells like bounce off each other.
Yep.
4 is like crazy AoE. One is just like a requirement to play these units as a carry. It's a really powerful trait. I could honestly see 4 getting nerfed. Bard and Teemo are like incredible carries, and then Kaisa and Zaya are just how you cap out your board on 9, and you put whatever leftover items you have on them. Warden is the best frontline trait right now. I think these numbers just have to go down. Like this trait is just kind of busted. 4 and 6 Warden and 2 Warden are all like really good. It's just DR is just powerful. Not really much you can say. The units are good. Nar is like a carry. Naru with Warden is pretty good. Amumu gets like 2 sources of DR from Porcelain and Warden. He just it's really hard to kill him.
And his fucking spell is self-healing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Mumu like definitely something you just want to like randomly hold in your minigame. And then Alawi is just like overtuned because she's like the overtuned 3-cost AP tank that they have in every set.
Okay.
And then Not is like the CC one. You actually like want to itemize the 3-cost over the 4-cost. It's kind of weird. You just like put a vow on him max and that's it. Maybe like a redemption. Just get him to cast once. And then Set is like the carry one. They nerfed him like a lot though. You for him to be like effective, you need to get him early and have him like squat units. He at the start of combat, like the 2 people next to him, he squats and gains AD based on how much health they have.
Yep.
But the thing is though, like his traits like tie in a lot of stuff. Like if you're ever playing Ashe or Syndra, like just hitting one of them to like complete your trade web is really good.
Oh.
And he's just like a little bit of CC and displacement. He can sometimes just like, since he ults and like throws a unit into the backline, he can sometimes just like walk up and like punch your backliner or something if you're not careful. I've had that happen a few times.
Okay. Is that something you feel like you can actually position around, or like with Set, or not really?
Yes, probably, but I haven't like played as the Set player or against Set player enough to like really know.
It's tough too because like you umbral value, right?
Yeah,
so it's like hard to actually get him in the right spot.
Yeah, if you're playing Umbra, you definitely want him in it because he can like AoE execute.
Yeah, exactly. But which I assume you just always. I mean, if you're playing him, don't you just always play umbral since it's 2 traits? It feels silly not to.
Yeah, probably. And then I guess we can go over the units because we went over the traits.
Yeah, I think the better way to go over the units is to pull up a builder and do it in tier list fashion.
Yeah. I don't actually have like a tier list pulled up, but we can probably just do it in a builder.
Just do it on the fly. Yeah,
So for 1 cost, I guess each row can be a tier.
Exactly. Yep.
Probably put Ari like here. She's like probably the best AP item holder early, but I don't think she's anything special. 3 Faded's like really strong to get though. Just because like you get a shield with Yasuo. It's pretty strong.
Yep. Also easy since it's 2 1 costs and a 2 cost.
Yeah, I think Yasuo usually want to hold. I'm usually really happy with items on him. He's like a tank to set, but he also just does damage based off his tankiness. Because he deals damage based on armor to Mar, and also kind of scales off AP as well. But yeah, like a Stoneplate Yasuo is very often a 5 streak.
Okay.
Especially with the shield in. Rek'Sai just kind of forgettable, but I don't know, her spell's not that bad, but like she's just like a frontline idiot. I'll put her in C, I guess. Caitlyn, it's pretty good. She just kills a unit. Her traits are good, but nothing like crazy.
Is she
Uh,
the same? She's the same old version. She just like has
yeah.
a wind up sniping. Okay.
I think her mana is higher than previous iterations, I think. But I think Ghostly is like a better trait than whatever she had in the past, so kind of makes up for it. Sivir, you really want to be holding. Just to get in 3-star Reaver, and then the unit itself is pretty good. She like buffs like she buffs adjacent. It's not left and right. So you can like put her, for example, like if she cast here, pretend this is the back line, she would be buffing all 3 of these. Like you can put them in front. But mostly just for like the Story Reaver, and then like Story Reaver plus like a Teemo for Trick Shot is one of the better openers in the game. Kog'Maw. I personally don't like Kog'Maw that much. I don't know if he's C or D for me, just because I don't know. I don't really like playing around Mythic early, and it's kind of awkward to get that much value out of his traits, and he like misses his ult a lot. But he has the potential to be like really good if they just make us do a little bit more damage, I think.
It also looks like he's a unit that's like designed to be re-rolled
Yeah.
around and a blue buff holder, and that's just always you're never slamming 2/1 blue buff. So like holding Kog'Maw, it sounds really challenging a lot of the time.
Yeah, he's like the item holder a lot of the time for Lilia. And I guess like Syndra if you go blue buff. And he's definitely designed to be rural. I just don't think he's like powerful enough to justify it. Like I've gone up against like Cog 3 Sun 3-1 and then just win because like with the whatever board.
Yeah.
Malphite's okay because he's a heavenly. He's like he scales his damage based off armor, and Behemoth gives you armor, so that's like kind of neat. You could reroll him with Kha'Zix. But I don't know. He's whatever. Like I'll put him in B because he's heavenly or whatever. I think heavenly for early game is like okay. I think the best setup with it is if you get like Darius with Umbral. You go like Darius, Yorick, Malphite, Kiana or something. They would get like Umbral, Duelist, Behemoth. But I don't know. It's whatever. Cho'Gath, pretty bad as well. I don't know if he's C or D. He's a mythic Behemoth. The one thing about him though is he does like burn whoever he hits, which is kind of nice. But he's not very tanky, and he takes like forever to cast. And most like 3 mythic setups in the early game were just bad. I don't think he's like bottom tier just because he has anti-heal and a spell though. But he's not that good. Darius is really good in the early game just because Umbral. Like getting flat 200 HP in your whole team is insane. And then Duelist pairs with Yasuo. So I think that makes sense. He might be viable to reroll. He's actually AP this set. Like he like does his like circle swing, does AP, and then like gets extra damage on autos. But I don't know. I've usually just found it better to just tempo as an item holder as usual. Garen's like a Store Reaver, so you're just buying him. Also a Warden. He gets like a shield that does damage. He's not a very good tank. He has like a hero augment that just I forgot exactly what it does, but I think it just makes him do damage. And maybe get an extra shield. I think that hero augment's like okay. Like if you have like a guarantee and you see the hero augment like and you have an item, maybe you take it. But yeah, you just buy him because he's a Story Reaver Warden, pretty much. Jax is actually like a better like he's another Warden. He's actually a better tank than Garen because he gains armor and MR. As opposed to just doing damage.
Is he just the best tank, or is Yasuo the best tank and he's the second best
Oh,
tank?
Yasuo's the best tank. Like as like a unit strength, I think Jax is like here, kinda.
Okay.
Or like as like a unit prior to buy. Because it's kind of hard to get an InkShadow. Because you need to hit like 2 and 3 costs. Or you don't have that. You can hit with 2 costs, but
okay.
Just hard to get it in.
Wait, there are two cost InkShadows?
Yeah, there's Senna and Aatrox.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know. Usually I'm playing around these units more than Jax, and I would hold all these units over Jax, so I don't think it's fair to put Jax up here.
Okay.
Kha'Zix is okay. You play him on a lot of boards, but I personally think he's kind of a piece of shit. Because he's like decent targeting, leaps towards lowest health enemy, but often that means he's like not hitting frontline and not helping you focus fire. If you can't kill his target within like 2 casts, he kind of just like jumps around and dies and does nothing.
Yeah.
But Heavenly Reaper are really good traits. Yeah, he's just kind of a trait bot in my opinion. But he can like maybe hold your melee item sometimes and be okay, but he's gonna be way worse than Darius. He also would even like Jax at that.
Okay.
If there was like a tier below this, I'd put Kabuko in it. I think he's that bad. I actually don't think it's ever correct to buy Kabuko 2. Because I would only play this unit if I'm playing Fortune, and I don't even want him upgraded if I'm playing Fortune. So I just hold one in case I hit Fortune. If I see 2 Kabukos, I'm not buying them.
Poor Kabuko.
Apparently his hero augment's like okay for tempo. Like it had a good average in EU scrims, but like I don't know if I can really believe that.
Yeah, it's EU.
Yeah, true. This is where I put the one cost though.
Okay, sounds good. You should I don't know if you're turning this into a YouTube video, but if you are, you should just like copy a link to this so that in your YouTube description you can just paste all your tier lists.
Yeah.
Make your life easy.
True.
Okay, 2 costs.
A lot of them.
Yeah.
Riven, really good trait bot. Like, like her traits are the fucking nuts. The unit itself is like a scuffed carry. She probably needs like 6 items to be viable as a carry kind of deal.
Yep.
She like kind of wants blue buff. She also wants like healing. She also wants damage. She wants crit. She wants CC immunity. But you only have 3 item slots, and it's also a 2 cost, and none of her traits help her do damage. So you just play her as a trait bot, and it is what it is.
Okay. I mean, 3 traits could be worse.
Yeah. She goes on a lot of boards, but if you ever put items on her, you're gonna be sad. I think Shen's actually a really good tank, but I don't, since he's like behemoth, like I often don't really play around him. What he does is like reduces damage by like a flat amount for himself, and then like a little bit less for adjacent allies, and then he does like true damage based on his armor. The thing about him is you can like for mid game you can just put Gargoyle on him and he'll do like 1.5k easily and like help him focus on frontline. His hero augment, I don't think it's that good, but I could be wrong. I feel like
it gives him much of range, right? I think I saw you play it once where it was like Rage Blade GS or something.
It gives him like 4 through range, I forgot, and like 100% extra damage. I personally don't think it's that good, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, I think like I don't really know about like putting him like on this tier because I actually like never play around him, but I'm pretty sure I'm underrating him. I see other people play him and he's like Stoneplate Shen 2 and just like Fast 8 or whatever.
It's one of those things where if that's your perception, you just gotta start like prioritizing holding him more and just see how the boards so you like
yeah
from it
for sure. Senna, right now, like the reroll comp that's like emerged is like Senna Nar reroll.
Yeah,
you reroll her with Nar, Aatrox, and then like Caitlyn, Jax, and Rek'Sai. It's like a perfect synergy board. I think Jax is the star of the show there, but Senna can hold your like 80 InkShadow. She holds Lust Whisper well, and I don't know. She does like respectable damage in that comp, so I'll put her in this tier.
Okay, you said Jax, but you meant Nar, right?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, yeah.
Someone said you can go to tools tier list for set 11.
Oh, I think this works fine because this also allows you to like hover the units and stuff.
Yeah, I think this works fine, honestly. But like if I put this in like YouTube description, I'll just like go to like I'll just make a tier list and put that in the link. Also, we should have tier lists on TFT Academy coming out in 1 day, 20 hours, 54 minutes.
Nice organic plug. Dan's proud.
True. Teemo. I think like the perception before going to that tournament for me was that Teemo was like really broken. I think he averages like a 2.x with 2 healthy. But he does have like some bad matchups. He can lose to just units that he loses to like the drain tanks that'll just kill your whole board, like Yone and stuff sometimes. Can struggle with single target. Basically, he just like poisons damage over time to people, and trick shot spreads it across the whole board. He just does a lot of damage.
And is he broken as an item holder in addition to the line being broken?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just like blue buff AP, Gunblade or something. Antail's pretty good at him as well.
Feels like both blue buff and Shojin are absurdly good slams to set. I know we're not at the item tier list yet, but it feels like there's so many paths.
Yeah. Yorick, I also kind of like as a tank. And because he's Umbral, I play around him a lot more than Shen. He has like the hero augment that like makes his damage scale up his health and give him more health. But he sucks the 2 nearest enemies and gains max health based on that. Or no, he just gets a flat amount and then does magic damage over time. I don't know. He's just pretty tanky because he's like gets armor MR from the thing, gets a shield from Umbral, and gets max health from the trait or from the spell. So he's just a good tank. Zyra, you play her a lot of the time because Tori Reaver Sage are just 2 flex traits. I think the unit itself is like, I don't know. Personally, I don't really like her that much. I think she's probably like C tier in strength, but like you play her pretty often.
Okay.
So I don't know. I don't know where to put her.
Is it like the line spell or what is it?
Oh no. If it was a line spell, I'd probably like easily put her up here. But it summons 2 little plants next to her.
Okay.
That like are temporary and it attacks nearest enemy 3 times. Just does small amount of damage and wounds them. Like she's supposed to be like an AP carry, but I don't know. Personally, I don't think she does enough damage. Okay. But she does have like anti-heal. But it's not like like this is like the most unreliable form of anti-heal in the game. It's like single target and temporary. So yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. Personally, I think she's like about the strength of like low C tier or whatever. But you play her on a lot of boards, so.
Yep.
Aatrox is pretty decent. His traits are also really good, like InkShadow and Ghostly, and Bruiser. You play him in the Senna comp. Really, really good early game. He's like an AP tank. He has Shred on his spell, which is notable. Like Magic Shred. And yeah, like scales like purely off of AP. Just wants like the Crown Guard adaptive stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't really want to put every unit in this
looking
tier.
Thick.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, you can always adjust it at the end.
Honestly, like fuck Zyra. Agreed.
Yeah, agreed.
Nar's probably S tier as well, just because Warden's OP and the unit itself is really, really good. He's like the real carry of the Nar Senna comp.
And is he good at 2 stars and item holder as well? Like
yes.
You like slam BT and whatever the fuck the sword belt items I can never remember and play Kane later or whatever.
Yeah. The thing about him though is like he's like designer on Titans, because his passive gains AD based on AP every time he gets hit up to 50 times, which is like so synergistic with Titans. You just kind of want like double Titans BT. I think it's probably BIS.
Okay.
Yeah, he kind of just becomes like a different unit, like with and without Titans. She like doesn't really do anything.
Okay.
Does Senna really belong in B tier? Chrome says. I think so. I think he's okay. Nico's like the Gragas of the set. She has flat healing and DR. And she's an Arcanist. Like really, really early, but like falls off a cliff later. She has a hero augment that like makes her do more damage. I think you want to item as her like the like set 3, or sorry, not set 3. The 3 cost set 9 crit build.
Wait, the 3 cost set 9 crit build?
Yeah, like the 3 cost Nico, like Ishtal or whatever the fuck. Like sometimes you give her like damage at like 3-star. I don't really remember. That was like a while ago, but
I don't remember playing that line at all.
But she has a hero augment that makes her do damage. And you probably want to give her like JJ Hodge or something. But I don't know. Okay, I don't really want to put her here, but like she's like, okay, honestly, I'll put her in C. But like she's pretty good though. Like she's like the best frontliner. Like if you hit like a Bard early, like Nico 1 can be like all the frontline you need.
Okay.
But like I'm
I
like
mean,
actually I'm like
D tier
really
could be fine. That's like a pretty narrow condition, but that's still good to know.
yeah, I'm like rarely playing around her though. Like it's like you really only playing around her for like random heavenly stack or uh like mythic. And mythic opener I only play it with Bard. And I guess it's like Arcanist opener as well, but I think that opener sucks.
Yeah.
So personally I think Kindred's not that good, but her traits are pretty good. Like she's a 3 trait 2 cost. They made her damage like really low because of that though. The intended use for Kindred is like to reroll her with Gnar.
Yep.
But she just does less damage than Senna, so people play Senna instead of Kindred. Um, and there's like you could also probably play her with like 4 Reapers intended, but I don't think like Kindred's good enough to justify it. So I want a Reaper spot so I can drop the Kindred.
Okay.
So, but at
Wait,
the
you drop Kindred over Kha'Zix just because of Heavenly?
yeah, because you can fit in like Wukong for Sage later and stuff. But at the same time, I think Faded Opener is like pretty good, and like I don't know, she's like okay as an item holder. So I don't think she like deserves D, honestly.
Okay.
Like for example,
Lux,
like
on the other hand,
I think she's like a lot better than Lux as an item holder. I remember I hit a Lux 2 on 2-1 in some game, and I like 7 lost, and I killed like 1 unit around if I was lucky. Like Shojin like Lux with like Nico 1 frontline, like holy I don't, this unit's so bad. She has like pretty bad target for focus firing, and her damage doesn't make up for it.
and she doesn't have a real line, right? Like it's not like
Oh no,
first thing.
she kind of does. Like
Oh, okay.
if Lux was good, like she'd like make 6 Arcanist like tempo make a lot of sense. But right now, because she's not, it doesn't really make sense. She's probably gonna be like pretty good at some point in the set, because she has like a pretty toxic design and a really good trait web. It's just being like everything's just being held back by her. Like it's just her fault.
Wow.
Sorry.
Shots fired.
Yeah, sorry. I think Yana's okay, but I don't know. I'm looking at all these units above her, and I don't think she's as good as them. So she's like another. She's just a duelist that she's also like Darius, and she like transforms for 4 seconds. Like her attacks like shoot in a wave. I've seen her like sometimes like Kiana 3 with like IE Hodge, Edge and Knight do decent damage, but she has the problems of like she's like not like hitting into the wave, like she can like waste a lot of her damage, like if she's like ulting 1 unit or something. Yeah, I don't know. I think she's just whatever. Just mid melee carry. I think Nard's better than her. And usually at this point of the game, like you want to be carrying like the 3-cost melees or just backliners.
Yep.
Janna, I don't really know how to evaluate. I know EU really likes Janna. She's
Seems like you both likes item holding her and likes carrying her.
Yeah. So she like gains she's like the old like shield unit. She just shields, and then this iteration of her does like way more damage than the other one that just shielded 2 enemies. So that's why people are like rerolling her. I honestly haven't really experimented or played against it that much, so I don't really know like where to power rank her. So I'd probably just put her here, but could be wrong. I think she's like, from what I've seen, just like in that like last tournament I played, is that she's like really coin flippy in the matchups. If you're going against a comp that can like burst through Janna shields, you're gonna have a really easy time. But if you're a comp that like just does consistent damage over a fight, it's gonna be hard. So there's that.
Yep.
But yeah, I can honestly see her comp like being like really, really broken at the start of the set and in like low elo, because those are just the kind of comps that are just the like defensive comps that just scale throughout a fight.
Yeah, it's just people aren't building appropriate boards. Like
Yeah.
they're never hitting power levels that outscale them, and they aren't punishing them early on, so it's just really, really consistent.
But I can definitely see it being a thing that falls off, because I don't know. I feel like I've beaten pretty good Janna boards with just focus fire.
Yep, makes sense. It's interesting. There's no ranged AD 2 cost.
There's Senna.
Oh,
So
Senna. Okay, okay,
she's 80 the set.
okay, okay.
So, I guess I should have explained that. She just you go like less whisper on Senna, and like same sider with Nara, and you give her 80 later.
Okay. Cool.
I think the 3 costs are probably, at least at launch, I think this is like the strongest 3 costs have been, which is actually saying something because last set they were also pretty strong at launch. Personally, I like 3 costs and 2 costs more than 4 costs right now, but I could be wrong on that.
No, it just seems correct. I mean, it's from reading lobby too. It seems like everyone's saying that 4 costs seem to be buffed pretty
Yeah.
significantly.
Tom Kench is kind of like set 7 Nunu, wherein he does damage based on his max health.
Okay.
Like does extra damage if he's like more health than someone.
Does he eat people?
He like licks them.
Hmm.
It's kind of.
Kind of. It's eating adjacent to the. He tastes them. He doesn't eat them, but
Yeah, but he also gains like shields and stuff. I don't know. He's I personally as a unit I don't think he's very good, but the mythic bruiser tag fits in pretty oftenly. So like
yeah.
he fits in with Bard, sometimes fits in with Lilia, but as a unit itself, I don't think he's very good. I think like if he was better, it would make more sense to like reroll Bard in him, but I think Bard is just a fast 9 comp right now, ideally. Thresh is pretty decent. Probably like the behemoth you play around the most. He is like the only frontliner for Faded, so you kind of have to play him. He shields himself, lowest health ally as well. Yeah, and does like a tiny bit of magic damage. The thing about him though, we talked about it earlier, is just the Faded bonus gives a ton of armor and MR, so you can get some like crazy frontline going. It's not really relevant, but he's also like 2 range. So if he's not your main tank, for some reason, if you like want to put a redemption on him and like put him behind the front line, that can work. But
Okay.
it's not that relevant. I don't really know where to rank Tristana. Like she's like the best duelist. I mean, I probably just this tier then. Like she's the unit you carry in duelist. She's like an okay item holder, but I don't know. I don't think she's that good. Just because
I played this line 1 of my 5 games. It is low ass sample size, but she was incredibly underwhelming. Like so underwhelming.
yeah, I think this duelist comp is like a spat check, and it's like kind of a team effort thing, but I don't know. It's also like a comp I haven't really played that much, so it's hard for me to give my opinion on it. But like, I don't really want to put her in C when like she's like the best duelist, and I think duelist is like probably like somewhat viable.
Okay.
So, there's Volley as well. He's the stage 2 menace. He has like a ton of flat healing, and then does decent damage. Personally, this guy just like falls off a cliff like as soon as like 3-1 starts, unless he's like 2-star with 3 items, and then he falls off in like stage 4. It's just kind of awkward to reroll him because of those reasons. But like Volley with like Gargantuan Titans and a BT, like will just win stage 2. Personally, I don't think he's that strong. Like if it's like a stage 2 tier list, we put him right here, but I don't know. I don't think he's
So he's
that
kind
good.
of champion you're like excited to get out of the box, but otherwise extremely unenthusiastic about.
Yeah, kind of that deal. I think Yone's incredible. I think Yone's like really close to being as good as Volley out of box, which is not normal. Like it's not usually how these 3 cost melees work.
Yeah.
Like Yone last set and Riven last set like did nothing on stage 2, but this guy is like a stage 2 menace. You give him like 1 item, you activate his traits, and he like Yone 1 is often a 5 streak.
Okay.
Um,
Do you even give a fuck what items you're slamming on him, or you just anything generic?
I mean, if you item hold him, you can give him whatever, but often you reroll him. Personally, I don't understand like the Rageblade Yone hype. Like I think it's like not good at all. But I see so many people talking about it. Like I don't know. Personally, my personal bias is always Hodge because he's like Reaper scale self crit. Um, and then either Titans or Edge of Nights. Edge of Nights better later because it like saves you against Lysandra, and like you'll have like multiple carries, so you don't need them to like 1v9. But Titans is so much better in the mid game. And okay, the last time I'm not really sure. I think like IE is okay because you get the 10% damage from the thing. because he already can crit. You can go double Titan sometimes as well. You can go double healing. You can also
Guard Breaker intuitively should make sense, right?
Oh no, it doesn't. Goldberger gives no AD, so
he needs the AD.
yeah, the AD is pretty impactful on him. I've gone like DB on him as well.
Okay.
Racist says you have Hodge plus 2 Rupert's DBIE. Okay, so it's just depending on if you have Hodge or not. It's DB is better.
Have you tried QSS?
Yeah, I don't really like it that much because. So in theory, like he like dashes in the backline, and most of the times he will dash before a lot of the frontline CC goes off because he dashes usually before Annie and Nautilus will cast.
Okay.
Unless he's like dashing in the frontline, which is a different thing. And it doesn't save you against Lysandra. But I mean QSS is way better than Rageblade, which people are building. So there's that.
Okay.
Personally, I don't know. I've had like this build a lot. It's either like Edge Knight or Titans. Hard to like really say. It's probably just gonna be a stat stuff. But Edge Knight's way better for late game.
Okay.
So there's that. Zoe, I also don't really know how to evaluate. I haven't played around her that much. He's like the AP 3 cost reroll. Fortune, Storyver, and Arcanist. This is the unit I've like had the I think has like a lot of potential, but I don't really understand that much. She fires a missile, and if it kills, she like gets more bounces. So kills increase the number of rockets or number of ricochets by 1 for the rest of combat. So at the end, she'll just like shoot out 1,000,000 missiles or whatever.
Okay.
You're just gonna want to go like full bursts on her. Shojin, stuff like that. I don't really know like what boards you want to play her on, just because I don't think the Arcanist board is that strong. But yeah, I don't know. I've seen her pop off enough that I don't really want to put her like down here or anything. But I also just haven't had enough experience to like say how to play her the best.
Okay.
Alune, I think is pretty decent. She used to be OP. Nerfed her a lot. Umbros is a really good trait. Can reroll her with Yone. She shoots like 2. No, she shoots like 1 line as like in. I don't know. Sorry, I'm not explaining this well. She like ults lines. She'll like ult the line with the most enemies, and it'll like split between them. And it also does damage to the current target. And the enemy's hits are like magic shredded, and then also she like buffs units in her row. So like
she buffs everything in the back row from
yes.
here, and then she casts on her current target, and then whichever vertical line is going to hit the most units.
Yeah, it's like 3 spells in one. She buffs backline, splits damage between most units in a row, and also just does single target.
Okay, someone was high when they designed the spell, but
cool. Yeah. So usually you're just playing her with Morello and
like Shojin or something,
like a mana item, and then if you have extra AP, you can put it on her.
Okay.
But I don't know. I don't think she deserves like top tier, but she's pretty good.
Okay.
I think Amumu's a fucking crank. I mean, both his traits are insane. His spell's really good, and he has like a good amount of base HP as well. He's like the warden you want to put items on the most. Like there's like a 4 and 5 cost warden, but you're just itemizing this guy instead always, basically.
Okay. So. Even at 2-star, like
yeah.
Items on him are better. Okay.
Yeah, if you get to like 3-star Mumu with Ash, it's like it's like a win con.
Okay.
I used to think Aphelios was like really good as like a 3-cost reroll. I'm quite kind of down on him. Okay, honestly, maybe I should put Tristana down here because like I was like considering putting Aphelios down here, but like he's a lot better. He's sniper faded, reroll with Thresh. I think he's like really really good. I think he's like worse than like Bard and Yone. So there's that. I think his Abyss is like this probably.
Okay.
if you're like 3-star, like I know like Gunblade is like really popular this set on backliners, but at 3-star like he shouldn't be dying to like whatever like splash backline damage. Yeah. I don't know. Sorry, I'm like a brain fry. I don't really have anything else to add. I think Bard's insane. Like the best unit you can hit out of box if you have any attack speed at all. Like the amount of times I just like 20 streak off like a Bard one is crazy.
When you say any attack speed at all, how wide of a net are you casting on that? Do you mean just Rage Blade or?
Oh, I mean like
Like you mean if you get a bard and you have a bow, you're fucking killing.
Yeah, like a bow.
Okay.
I mean like if it makes sense, like you can maybe even sack for Rod.
Okay.
But like I've had him like 20 streak with like the Shiv augment. The Gambler's Blade is insane as well.
Yeah.
I don't know, he just like scales up and does so much damage, and then also like kills backline. Like he never gets like stuck on anything. Because like before you get stuck on a front line, he'll just like kill the backline before that even matters. I don't know like what like BIS is. I just like slam whatever the fuck makes sense and go 9. It's like I go like 1 Rage Blade. Like I've got like Shiv IE and it's fine. So
I think I watched that game. You did that in tournament, right?
yeah. You just slam whatever on him and then you go 9 and like carry Lillian and away. But if you're like rerolling him with Kench, it's probably something like this. Or like double Ginsu for one of these if it makes sense as well. Next 3 cost is Diana. Really good trait bot. I don't really think it's worth itemizing at 2-star, and you're probably not hitting a 3-star Diana most of the time. So I don't know. She's just a giga trait bot, in my opinion.
Is she good at 3-star? If you're getting slapped in the face with a million Dianas, do you go for it or no?
I'm not sure. She got nerfed a lot. I would say probably no, but yeah. She like heals herself and then creates like a 1 health zone around her, and like she takes like less damage from backliners, but she takes full damage from melee, which doesn't really make her that good of a tank because a lot of stuff is melee. And then she doesn't really do that much damage. Like she gets like a magic damage on hit buff, but it's kind of low. So
that's new design space, right? I can't remember them ever printing the like safe zone thing.
No, I don't think so. I don't believe she has a mana lock, so something like Adaptive's like quite good on her. But she just has like a glaring weakness as like weak to melee, so like if you're like relying on her to be like your Giga tank, it's not gonna go that well.
Interesting.
Alawi, just another top tier warden. She shields herself and then summons a tentacle that also like heals herself, and then she heals herself off of warden. Also gets a bigger shield off of Arcanist. Or no, she heals herself off of Ghostly, gains a bigger shield off of Arcanist, and gains DR from Warden. If you're playing around like AP at all, she's like better than a Mumu. But if you're like playing around like 4 Porcelain, a Mumu is better. But they're both just like insane.
They're both really good. Generic. If you have both them 2-star, you put classic tank items on a Mumu and AP tank items on Alawi. If you have the choice, you're probably itemizing a Mumu over Alawi. But just what is what you hit.
And I think the tentacle can like mess up targeting sometimes. Ramble, is that what you're like referring to? Because I remember like I was playing Kog'Maw and then the Kog'Maw like ulted the Alawi tentacle that can't be targeted like 4 times in a row. And apparently Ramblin's saying that Aurelia will also like try to hit the tentacle.
Nice.
So yeah, that's another reason she's really good.
Alawi's back at it. New unit doing it again.
Yeah. Remlin says if Aurelia casts on a tentacle, the blades disappear for the rest of the fight.
Oh, very good.
That's even worse.
So it just makes Aurelia disappear then.
Yeah.
Very good.
Soraka, she has a passive where she gains 8 AP when team loses 20% of total health. So she gets like a little bit of extra AP. And I believe her Heavenly also gives her AP. So she just gets flat AP from existing. and her spell shoots a large group of enemies within range and does like AoE and then mana raise them. Or it does like more single target and like a tiny AoE, honestly. Her traits are really, really good. Heavenly Ultras fits with like Wukong, Rakan really, really well. As a unit itself, she's okay. She's like the secondary slash primary carry when she gets a 3-star in the Janna comp from EU, I think. But I don't know. I play like a lot of like 7 heavenly plus melee carry. I think it's like one of my favorite comps, and whenever I put items on her, she just does like 3k a fight most. There's like some tech where you can put her like second row or front line, and since she shoots like large group of in range, you can use her to like snipe the back line kind of. But I think the standard is just to put her in the back. She can kind of shut down melee carries because she'll just be like if you give her Shoten or something, she'll just be mana reaving them every single time they want to cast. So that's kind of cool. I think she deserves like this tier at least for that. She has like a lot of utility and carry potential.
No D tier. Pog.
Yeah. I think these are like the strongest 3 costs have been on launch, I think.
Who's your 1-star warriors? Who are you're really excited about getting them out of box?
These guys. These are the fucking juice. I mean, just all the S tier. Why not even move them? It's just the entire S tier.
I mean,
Volley is
Volibear. Oh, it's the S tier plus Volibear.
Yeah. I mean, you're also pretty excited about hitting Fortune as well. But yeah.
Is Aphelios good at 1-star?
With Faded in, yeah. But just kind of hard to like. It's a board that fits on like level 6 and 5 sometimes. Not a board that like fits on level 4 and 3.
Mm-hmm. Sweet. 4 costs.
Yeah, the 4 cost. I mean, honestly, they're not that bad. It's just like they're not that good. I don't know.
It's all relative. It's not that they're trash. It's that
Yeah.
the 1, 2, and 3 costs are good.
Morgana, I honestly don't really know how to rate her. She used to be like Giga S tier, and they Giga nerfed her damage, but she still has like all of the utility. Like her traits are insane. But it might not be worth putting anything more than like a Morella on her. But honestly, like I've still seen like Morgs and Flex setup just like still put out respectable damage.
Yeah. I played one decent in-house the other day, and I played Morgana. I played Morgana Kane Silas, and it was like a free first.
Yeah, I think I need to like explore like Ghostly more as a trait. Like I saw like 4 Ghostly do decent a few times in that tournament. But I don't know, she's decent. I think Orin's really good. I don't think he deserves S tier though. Like he's like one of my personal favorites though. He gains a shield. He's very, very similar to Blitzcrank from last set and like how he operates. But he's like a Blitzcrank that instead of doing nothing, he farms you like a temporary full item onto your nearest unit. So something you could do is you can like fully item as Orin, get him to cast a few times, then put him next to like a secondary upgraded frontliner, and just have him like farm a full build for them.
Is he farming tailored items?
Yes, tailored items, which is really, really good. He's like one of the better units you can hit like early game as well, because he's like if you hit him on like 2-5 if you're pre-level, it's like the nuts as well. Usually you're playing around him on like level 9 boards with Azir and Udyr. And he can fit on the Invoker board as well. But
how does he? Wait, does the Invoker board play a Behemoth?
Oh,
it just plays Azir.
Okay. And then you can like use him to farm like items for Annie and then like Nautilus as well.
Makes sense. Okay.
Nautilus sees play on a lot of boards, but he's like not that good of a unit. He's just like he casts once and then you're happy if he casts once. But he doesn't have the Warden tag, and you do like play him with Lily a lot of the time. But as like a unit himself, he's just okay. But like if you get like if like you get a CC to land, it can win the fight. So there's that.
It's a little weird because this archetype of a unit has existed basically since the dawn of TFT, but for some reason he's only hitting the much closer group, right? Like the old
Oh,
version of CC always had backline
oh no,
access.
this one does. This one has backline access.
Oh, he has backline access. Okay.
Like the problem is sometimes like he's not he's often not casting at 1 star. He's like almost always casting at 2 star, but like that's all he's doing. He doesn't like if you're relying on him to like with items as like your frontline, you're gonna like your frontline is gonna fall over. Like you need other stuff.
Galio 1.
Frodan says I had 3 items and all this he doesn't cast. Okay, I mean that's not true. Like if you have 3 items, it's probably gonna cast once. That might be a player diff.
Sounds like a player diff to me.
But yeah, like it's just a question of can he cast or not. Um, Silas is like the unit where he does more like the less you expect of him.
Yep.
I think if you're like trying to go like full carry Silas and like investing into like everything you can for him, he's like you're gonna be really really disappointed. But if you put like a TG on him, he'll just do like 5k and he'd be like, what the fuck, this guy's so broken. If you put like random like Crown Guard Spark Sunfire, you're gonna be like pretty really you're gonna be satisfied. But yeah.
We call this the souls tier. The less you invest, the more you profit.
True.
And there's at least one souls tier 4 cost in every TFT set.
Yeah. I forgot like I say this about like a lot of units, but like I forgot what they are off the top of my head already, so from like previous sets.
Oh, I mean Gwen is a great
Oh yeah,
example.
Gwen. Yeah, Gwen. True. Syndra. I think Fade is pretty strong. I see some people play around like Syndra on flex boards. I haven't really figured out how to do it. She sometimes fits on the Ash board as well, or like and the Aphelios board, if you have items for her, just to get like 3 faded in with like Set and um Thresh sometimes. She's just a solid AP carry. Usually see her have the most success with like +1 faded. That's about it though. Annie's like really really good, but like she doesn't really have traits. Her passive is she gains health when she damages a burning enemy, and then like when she casts, she burns enemies. So she's like a form of frontline anti-heal, and she gains like she transforms into like Tibbers, or she hops on Tibbers, and when she does that, she like scales off her max health. So like stuff like Warmonks is pretty good on her. Bruiser Annie is a funny amount of HP, but I don't know if it's that good because that's just too much frontline, I think.
Do you is her anti-heal reliable enough that when you're playing the Invoker line, you don't bother?
Um, I don't think so. I think having a Morello in that comp is still pretty good. Um, it just hits the front line basically. But often like Lilia and Hui in like in Azir and stuff won't be able to like one shot the backline, so you don't really want them healing up. So like Morello on one of those units can still be good.
Yeah.
But like I wouldn't say like building anti-heals like should be like a necessary prio, but if you like Belt Rod hanging around, like you just make it. I mean Annie's not in the same tier as Nautilus, so I'll put her there. But
Maybe Nautilus is D tier, man.
okay, but he's not that bad though. Like you play him, he's impactful if he casts.
Yeah,
And
but
he has
that's
good
it's all relative. He's a 4 cost. Like the fact that he is capable of having an impact doesn't necessarily mean. I mean, we'll do the whole thing.
I mean, the thing about him is that he's playing a lot of boards, so like I don't know. I feel like seeing playing a lot of boards makes him like not
does,
bottom
for
tier
sure.
by definition.
If for sure impacts tiering, absolutely.
I think a lot of people think Ash is S tier, but I think she's like just whatever. I only see Ash like do well with like or do like top 2 or something with like Porcelain Spat and like Lysandra and a bunch of other stuff. But just like as like a baseline roll down a level 8 comp, she's just like a play for top 4 kind of deal. She has like a arrow stacking passive, which she gains arrows based on every time she attacks. So I actually think Gitsu's like good on her. I'm not sure if like the no Ginsu build ashes are good or not. Like, because Porcelain gets attack speed. It's hard to say. That's just like question for stats, I guess. But whenever I have Ginsu on her, like she feels like a different unit, which probably means it's good. And then she fires a volley, split between three closest targets. Like based on the arrows as well. So like what she can do is at like the end of the fights is like sometimes you think you're gonna lose, and then she'll just like she'll have like all of her arrows stacked up, and then she'll just like one shot two units at the end.
Sounds like something that I'll fuck up while casting like a dozen times over the course of the set. Can't wait.
Yeah. Kaisa might deserve bottom tier. I don't know.
Oh.
The thing is, like, you see way more analysis than Kaisa, but I don't know. She doesn't do like her damage isn't that bad. Like she'll do like 80 to 90% of what Ash does, but just with a way worse trait web. She can do decent damage in like 4 trick shot, but like that's just like a Bard or Teemo carry most of the time. But I don't think she really deserves bottom tier. I like Kane a lot, but I don't know if he's good enough to like put him top tier. Personally, my top tier goes like this. Like, we can go over that later. I don't know. I like Kane. He probably doesn't deserve top tier, but I play around him a lot. He fits with like Yone reroll. He fits with like Morgana, Silas Flex. He can fit in like the Heavenly melee comp as well. I played that a few times. It's decent.
Both of his traits are 2 splash.
Yeah. Lee goes in this tier just because Aurelia sucks. If like they fix the Aurelia bug, he probably just gets up. Goes up just based on that. But like the use case of this unit is 1, you're playing Aurelia, and 2, you're playing like Duelist Spat. So there's that. And then I think Galio is top tier. I think he's the best tank. Kind of needs like at least 1 stone plate to be a beast, but if you have that, he taunts, insane frontline, shields your team, really good traits. Just fits in with Riven for free, who's a story weaver. It says that he taunts within 3 range, but I'm pretty sure it's a global taunt. I think. I could be misunderstanding it, but there's so many times.
What?
No, there's like I have so many clips where like my Ash is just here, like Galio's right here. Galio just taunts, and then Ash is like, okay, fuck it. Like, we're just going over here and attacking the Galio. And then, yeah.
Wait, isn't that turbo broken? Because you can just not care about your gargoyle value and put him in the middle of the board. Like, 3 hexes wouldn't get corners, but if you can grab corner, you just put him in the middle of the board. And then as soon as he casts, you just draws everything to him. So you, like, get your outside tanks, get mana earlier for their casts, and then you re-aggro everything onto the Galio and get max value.
Yeah. Like, it might work as in, like, you might work on, like, based on, like, the enemy unit's range. Like, I've seen it happen the most with snipers. That's kind of what Ramblin's saying. Like, I haven't really tested it, but all I know is that this Galio has screwed over my Ash so many times. It's just...
Okay.
So yeah. But I think he's, like, the best tank.
Okay. And then Lilia goes up there as well, you said?
Yeah, I think Lilia's the...
No, you actually put her in B tier.
Oh, yeah, oops.
Ash was B tier. You moved her.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, I think Lily's the best AP carry and also the best fort cost. She's like the highest cap as well. She fits with a lot of legendaries. She pairs with Hui. She pairs with Azir, which are both also AP carries. And I mean, what she does is she like is one of like the units you wanted to cast a lot. Her first orb is like whatever, and then it like splits into like smaller orbs. And then every third cast is like a mega orb that also splits into more smaller orbs. People have like done like the mana math on her, and like 4 Invoker Shojin is like really good breakpoint. I don't know what BIS at 2 and 6 are. I just heard that 4 Invoker Shojin's the good. But I don't.
Sure? For some reason, in my head, I thought someone said that it was the opposite. Someone told me that it's blue is. Oh, it's wait. No, you're right. It's blue 2 and Shojin 4. Yeah.
Okay, people are saying it's the opposite. I forgot.
Wait, it's blue on 2 and Shojin on 4. I think.
I mean, my chat's saying it's 2 Shojin for blue buff, but
Oh.
I don't actually know. Like this is just like what other people say. Like
Okay,
people.
can someone confirm that? Like, can Rambling confirm? That seems like really good.
Asa said 2 invokers of 45 mana ult, and 4 invokers of 30 mana. I mean, I guess 4 is just either. So you're probably just better off making Shojin if 2 and 4 is like the same. Unless like you're always playing 4 and blue is just good.
Raptor says 4 is either, but blue is better. Okay.
I don't know. I think she's just really, really good. She can snipe backline. She just has a lot of damage. Her trait web is good. But yeah, I honestly I've just put it like I've put like random trash in her and she does fine. I've gone like VS in her, she feels fine. She's like one of the highest caps as well. I don't know. I think she's like the best carry.
I should be bullying you into moving your C tier to D tier and splitting up your A tier, but this is fine. It's all context dependent.
Okay, but like these units aren't that bad though. Like,
sure, yeah, I get it.
Like Kaisa's like the one that like sees like the least play, but like she does like I don't know, she does damage. Like you're gonna be happy with her with like 4 trick shot. I don't know. I guess like if I see a niche for a unit, I don't want to put it in bottom tier.
Yeah.
That's just me though.
Sense. Makes sense. Who are the wait really fast? Who are the 1-star warriors from here? Like who are the it sounds like Galio. You can just giga tank with one with.
Oh yeah, Galio. It's like I don't know about any. Yeah, I don't know about any. It's like these 4 probably.
Okay.
Maybe not Orin like past stage 3, but like stage 3 he's gonna cast and get an item. Morgana 1, Morgana 2 if you're just caring about her for Morello's no diff, but the thing is like Morgana's not that good on stage 3, so I don't really know if we can call her a 1-star warrior. Kane's Kane wants a fucking beast on stage 3 as well. He's kind of like Zed in that remark, but he's not as good as Zed one later.
Basically, it's helpful for me to know what I can play around when I get the random 1-star copy of it earlier.
Yeah.
Sweet. 5 costs.
Lilia's like pretty good because she like makes Mythic worth playing as well when you get it early.
Is Lilia 1 better than Bard 2?
No. You keep Bard 2 on your board for like at the end of the game, so Bard 2 is pretty good.
Okay.
I
meant Teemo. Oh, I said Bard, but I meant Teemo.
Oh, Teemo? Oh, that's a good question. I think Teemo 2 is probably better. But like sometimes you just like you're pivoting your board to like where you want to drop a Teemo anyways, so.
Yeah.
Zaya is like it's a 4 trick shot check only. But I don't know. Does she deserve bottom tier because he's like a 4 trick shot check only? Like I don't know.
Probably.
But the thing is like, yeah, but like the thing is like it's not like worthless to buy her because like she can just be a Rakan. So
that's a good point. That's a really weird one. Tiering Zaya and Rakan is tough.
You're almost always gonna buy these, but
yeah, you're just buying it because Rakan is broken.
Yeah.
And like occasionally you make it Zaya.
I don't know. I don't think Zaya deserves bottom tier. But yeah, like ranking 5 costs in general is just weird. I think we could go over Wukong.
The value of ranking 5 costs is essentially how good are they at 1-star? What are the ones what are the highest cap versions of boards that the ones you want to play around versus the more situational ones? That's where I get like I'm always gonna I'm rolling on level 8. I'm always gonna buy gold units. I'm always gonna try to find a way to put them on my board, unless you tell me that one of them is terrible and I shouldn't. Basically, like Aurelia probably.
Yeah, I don't really play around Aurelia, but like that's just because like people are like have like horror stories of like her bugs and stuff. Wukong's okay. His traits are really, really good. At 2-star, he can be like a decent carry. Has like a little bit of CC. Like he like cycles through his spells. If you give him like a blue buff, he'll like start with full mana and like you can like set him up to like stun a unit at the start of the fight. And then does like AoE and then does more like the AoE as well. He's okay. I think Hui is like probably the best 5 cost carry. Might be the best 5 cost. Just as like a nuke and he also has like utility for your whole team.
What kind of itemization is Way?
Just
I
AP.
mean, it was AP. I think I saw you Rage Blade Way at one point. Is that just because you had a Rage Blade?
Yeah, I don't even remember that, but I don't want to. Yeah, that's yeah. Ridgewood's not very good on him. It's probably something like this as BIS, because he kind of hits the whole board, and then on second cast everything will just die.
Man, having Azir, Lissandra, and Way at 5 cost is so interesting. Gives you so much incentive to slam AP items early.
Yeah. I mean, in theory, you also have like, Xayah Aurelia, but like
Yeah, in theory,
those just have a few issues. Azir's just another AP, and he like does damage through a beam and then spawns like a soldier. I think he's okay. I don't think he's like as good as Way. He's not like really reliable damage, but he has like both of his traits compare really well late game, and he has like a lot of utility. So he sees a lot of play, but I think he's like definitely a step below Way. I think he's better than Wukong though. And then Aurelia. I don't know. I think she's like only being held back by the bug. I don't even know what the bug is. I just hear people bitching about it, so I don't play her. But she's probably pretty good outside of that. Like she has like really good trait web with Dragon Lord. She also has Sunder built in. But she has like really weird like auto attacks. I wouldn't really try to like understand the unit that much. Just know that you don't have to build Tread and attack speeds, whatever. You just build like AD on her.
Oh, so she doesn't want Rage Blade.
I don't think so, yeah. Okay, apparently she might. I don't know. I don't actually know. So I mean that's just like a way for stat single.
Okay, sounds good.
She used to have like 50% attack speed scaling, and now it's 70%, so that might change it.
Sounds like a math question. That's exactly the type of question I never worry about. Just
I mean,
data tell me.
I mean, I don't think Ginsu would be good, but I think Red Buff is probably good because she hits whole board. And then, yeah, I would be surprised if Rage Blade was actually good on her. The Sandra is just the unit farming. We kind of talked about her before. I don't know. I think she's really good when you're like playing capped Syndra and capped Ashe. Like she wins so many fights on her own, and she is like farming. But like, whenever you just have like a random Lissandra on like random Lissandra 2 and you're like fast nining, and like you're just playing on like her 2 traits, like I think she's kind of underwhelming. Personally. But in her niche she's like incredibly strong. So I don't really know exactly where to put her. I'll just put her in A, I guess, or B. Rakan used to be like the Giga Nuts, and they like Giga nerfed his damage, but he's still pretty good. He dashes into a large group of enemies, deals respectable damage, gains a shield, and then reduces their damage done.
Is he a tank or is he?
He's a carry. He's a carry, but he's like a tanky AP carry. But you don't want to put tank items on him.
Vow is good, I'm assuming.
I don't know. I think like you just want to put like Spark, and if he's 2-star, you could give him like actual AP items. Okay. Like I would just think of him like Silas, honestly. I don't know. I'm not sure if he deserves top tier or not. Maybe if like Dragon Lord Aurelia comes back in meta, you can justify it, but
it's amazing how much Aurelia being bugged affects the overall flow of the game of TFT. Even though it's the late game, it just changes so much about what items you prioritize slamming.
I don't know. I'm about to just do this, but like,
yeah,
I feel like that's lazy.
That's pretty common for legendaries, to be honest.
Yeah, the thing about Set is like he's like scaling, so if you're playing him on like a flex board, you have to hit him early. But he's also kind of like Lissandra. He's like really good in his niche. If you're playing Faded, he's so good at hitting Faded. He's so good to hit in like Warden and like Ashe and Umbral. But like if you're just level 9 infinite gold on like 5-2, you get a Set 2, he's not going to be that good. So just kind of polarizing, kind of like Lissandra. I think Udyr might deserve top tier, but I honestly don't really play around him that much, and that just might be because I suck.
What do you build?
I don't know. He's just like a tank, but the thing is, he's much more. He's much better than Cyan was at like actually doing damage. Like Cyan, like the damage was fake. This guy's damage is actually real. But at the end of the day, he's like built-in CC with like 1.5 lives. Like he's always going to cast 1.5 lives.
Kind of
good. Yeah. But I don't know. I just play like when I go 9, I just go like I just play synergies instead of him, but I don't know if that's right or not.
Only way to find out, start buying him, playing him, see how it feels.
Yeah. So
sweet. All right, item tier list next. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real fast.
Okay. Let's see if I can get an item tier list. Run an ad. Okay. Thoughts on 2 v3 v4 costs carry viability of the set? It's probably 3 costs, then 2 costs, then 4 costs. Oh nice, I already have a tier list open for this, but I have to like clear it. Oh, they cleared my names, whatever.
All right, we back.
All right. We're just going to do this. I think when I think about an item tier list, actually, let's do this. What would B-tier be? I forgot what I had it as.
It would be like situational slams.
No, that's my C tier.
Okay.
Fuck, I actually like had like a thing for this.
Is it like you don't like not upset about making it or something?
Oh yeah, tempo. Yeah.
Oh, sure. Okay.
All right. Warmogs. I think Warmogs is probably slightly better in the set because there's like, I don't know. Last set you almost never made Warmogs because you would always go even Shroud and you always want an anti-heal. So I think it's a little bit better, but like anti-heal is still pretty good. The only reasons like you wouldn't go anti-heal is if you're like relying on like Annie a lot, but like you're still down to make a Morello most games.
The fact that Story Weaver Splash can guarantee shred and that there's a lot of different boards that play it definitely makes it feel less bad.
I think even Shroud is like at least a Hylo is gonna like go from like one of the highest build rates to like it's gonna like lose the most amount of build rate, I think.
Yep.
I think Adaptive's also decent. I don't know how good tiers are in this meta. That kind of like determines Adaptive's viability. Like if you're like, because like last time there used to be like a lot of comps that want a blue buff, but right now it's like Syndra and like some 5 costs.
And yeah, Syndra Wukong, and Lilia in some conditions.
Yeah, but like you're probably not upset with Lilia Adaptive, I think, right?
Sure.
So, I think that probably deserves this tier.
It might even be all a slam based on that, if you think about it.
Yeah, maybe. It's really good on like Alawi and Amumu. So, yeah, it's also really good on like Ornn. I don't know if it like I'm not sure if I can justify this, but maybe.
I mean, if you don't prioritize tiers unless Cloak has, if even Shroud's gone down, Cloak, that was like the primary thing driving up Cloak value. So just intuitively it makes sense to be an always slam.
Okay.
You can always move it down.
True. I just don't know if like the item is like that broken. So. JG. You could probably go the whole set without building it and be fine. I don't know if it's like situational though. Right now it's like it's just Arcanist being bad, like that makes you not want to build it. It's probably like sometimes fine to build on 6 Arcanist, but I don't really see that often. Like there's a lot of stuff you can use with rods that are better. Like Ginsu's back in meta. Lots of units are Crown Guard units. Merlot's always good. Yeah. I personally it's like this for me, but for like the rest of the player base, it's probably situational.
Personally, I'm down to add another tier and just make it the CN tier and just have it be JG.
Yeah, I mean it's in theory it's like an item Soraka wants a lot because you get crit from like Heavenly if you're playing Vertical Heavenly, and she gains AP as well. But that's whatever. BT. It's gonna like Yone, Kane. But I think Hodge is actually better for them. I'm trying to think about like more units that want this. Like I don't even think it's good on Silas. So
Wukong?
Yeah, but like Wukong 1 is not him. Oh yeah, it's good on Nar. Nar, it's Narbus. Personally, I think it's just like a win streak item though. I don't think it's a situational item because like Hodge is better on the Reapers, but like you would still just go BT. Like if you have to make a healing item for your Yone, you're just gonna make a BT. Blue buff. It's good on Syndra. It's good on Wukong. Sometimes good on Lilia. Like I mean, it's just good on Lilia. And in theory, it's like good on like Kog'Maw, but Kog'Maw sucks. Oh, it's good on Teemo too. I mean, it's probably just always this. I like it's definitely not an always slam though, because like if you're playing tempo and you're not playing around Syndra, it's like there's probably better stuff you can use with tiers. Bramble. I'm torn between situational and almost nether because I think Stoneblitte's really, really good this set. But I don't know. It's a tag item, I guess. Like in this meta, it's probably almost it's probably almost never because like the late game is always AP.
Listening to you rationalize this Bramble Vest is too funny, man. You know, I think overall items are in a phenomenal place. They've gotten so much better as time has gone on in TFT, but like honestly, man, aren't you gonna put D-Claw probably down? I mean, I guess AP is so busted now that D-Claw is kind of good now, but
I think D-Claw's fine.
But only because AP is so much better, right?
I mean, okay. The other thing about, I mean, we can go over D-Claw when we get there, but like, I mean, I guess I can rig it now.
Just do it now. Who cares, yeah.
Like the thing about it though is that like the units have a lot of HP, and you're not really greeting for Eventrout that much, so like it's a lot more of a slam than Bramble is.
Yeah, but it's not because you're excited about it. It's because like Cloak sucks and units have high HP. It just feels like I guess what I'm saying is the identity. It might be stronger than JG or Bramble, but like from an identity perspective, these 3 items feel like they need a rework really, really badly to me.
I don't think D-Claw's that bad. I think Bramble probably needs a rework though. I think the move to like make it like not a crit thing has just made it feel like really bad for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like they added like Crown Guard Adaptive, which is clear it almost always. I think Crown Guard's like the definition of this tier because often you want Rod, but if you don't want Rod, it's like amazing. So. And then Eventrout, I think it's just a tempo slam now. It's like decent in Ashe sometimes, but like I think Ashe Abyss is probably LW, and even if you don't have that, like you can play Aphelios, which has like a little bit of shred. And then I think if Kai'Sa's also meta, Kai'Sa would also prefer less Whisper because a lot of her strength is like ricocheting to backline, which Eventrout wouldn't help with.
And your primary melee carries, I guess Kane could get value from it. Yone doesn't, right? Because his whole thing is that he goes to the back.
Oh, it's actually pretty good for Yone.
Okay.
It's pretty good for Yone and Kane. You just like throw it on like Stylus or something.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's not that bad, but you're just
Yeah,
gonna
it's
build
fine.
it. You're just gonna build a lot less the set.
Yeah.
So I think it's fine. Val actually got quite a bit better. It's still like underwhelming for early game, but it's like one of the only ways you can make your Nautilus impactful, and it's also just good on the other frontliners. It's really good on like Ornn. It's fine on Galio. It's but I don't think it's like an always slam because it's just not an impactful item earlier.
I'm excited. I miss slamming this item.
There's like more units I like that this is good on, but I'm like forgetting. Oh, it's good on set. It actually like makes set a lot more reliable to cast. But yeah, really good late game. I don't know. I feel like GS has always been in this tier because it's like a really good like third item to build.
Yep.
I think. Okay, so the thing is, there's actually quite a few shields in the set, but like there's not that many units that can like actually use the guard breaker like stats and like AOE.
Who are they? Morg makes sense.
Yeah, like like in theory, like Morgan Lilia, but on those units, I'd rather just like build AP or mana. And then like you don't really want to put on like Kaisa and like Ash and stuff because they don't have base AD. It doesn't have base AD, so it's just hard to justify it. Um, it's decent on Bard, I guess. Like you sometimes you can put it on Bard, but I don't even like it's not even like better than GS, I think. Yeah, it can be like okay on Teemo, but like the thing is you'd rather just go raw IP on Teemo, and you kind of want like a Gunblade or Morello. I'm like torn between these two.
Seems like the components are valuable. Just we haven't gotten through all of them yet, but I mean belt is always really valuable, and glove it seems like is going to be as well.
Yeah. I don't know, but the thing is like I don't think it's as bad as JG or Bramble.
Sure, but it doesn't have to be that bad. It's just a
Yeah,
threshold.
yeah. I think it's just like it's worse than other items. Oh wait, oops. Hopefully I didn't mess it up. It's worse than other items, but like it's
put it in make econ. Yeah.
It's worse than other items, but I think it's still better than these.
Okay.
Edge Knight, good on Yone for late game. Good on like Kane. Trying to think about like what units would want to late game as well. It's probably good on like Wukong later as well, but I don't know, it's probably situational.
Yeah. The only way it's higher than that is if you think that Kane is just like such a strong unit that you can always splash it, so then you can always slam it and then just like one healing item and play Kane later, no matter what.
I mean, it's always been a horrible slam. That's like, so
it's not. It isn't a situational like its whole identity. That's the entire design of the item.
Yeah. Rageblade is a lot better this set. It's probably BIS, Ash, Affilio, Bard. Bard and Ash are like the main ones. But the thing is like it's like pretty bad in like the Lilia line. It's also like I don't know. If I'm like flexing around it, I don't think it's that good. But like if I know I'm like playing around like Bard or Ash, like it's like I'm not a make it, it's really good. It's always been good for tempo. I mean, I'll just put it in this. I think that's fine. Bro, you don't. Okay. Can we like do like some kind of wager? If my Rageblade Yone take is right, because like where is this like Yone Rageblade propaganda coming from? Just put it in always been fucking no man. It's not an always slam. Okay, but the thing is, like, I'd just be like giving away money because like no one would like actually bet me on this. Like,
yeah, who's gonna take the other side of this bet?
Like the thing is, like, it looks cool on Yone because like he just attacks fast, but like you just want him to like do damage. Like, I don't get it. Like, you're not building Yone, you're not building Ragebit on like Riven last set, so like I don't get it. I don't get the hype. Hodge is decent. I mean, it's better than BT for like the melee comps, but Also, you never want to like slam Hodge for like a lot of the AP stuff usually. Idea is that he's attack speed, amp that isn't permanent. Yeah, I mean I get it, but the thing is like I'm down to just like execute some shit with a DB instead. And I'd rather have Titans as my scaling item if I wanted one. And usually he's like killing stuff like during his cast, so like I don't really know if you want the Rage Blade. Personally, okay, the thing is like I like as much as I'm shitting on it, I don't think it's like that bad. But I also like there's no way it's fucking Biss, man. There's no way it's Biss.
Watch the stats come out and just say it's Biss, and then we're just gonna clip it.
No, man, the stat okay, well the thing is like people are gonna build it on him. Like the stats are actually gonna be horrible because it's gonna be like one of his most built and like mediocre on him. But you probably have to like somehow like filter over that. I think Gunblade's really good this set. I like wrote a whole Twitter post about it. The thing is though, the like 2-1 Gunblade slam is like a little bit sus. So like the way I set up these tiers, like you might not want to make it on 2-1, but I think it might be like my most slammed item like on PB. So probably deserves top tier.
Yeah, the tough thing about these tier lists is what we really should have is like a staging tier list, but that's just way too much.
Yeah,
work,
like who fucking cares?
Yeah, no fucking way. If you're good at TFT, you should know not to slam Gunblade on 2-1. Not at least not to always do it.
I is fine. It's probably win streak tier for me. It's just like AD is a little bit out of meta. But
there aren't a lot of people that you talked about that would actually use this. I mean, Ash, obviously. Kaisa, I'm assuming.
Yeah, like it's pretty good on the units. It's just that just slightly out of meta. I don't know. I think usually like GS and stuff is better. It's actually okay on Bard as well. It's like Bard's like mixed. It's actually fine on Bard. Spark. It's pretty good. Probably just A tier. I don't know, I like Spark. I think Snowplate's probably always the set for me.
Pog.
I fucking
back.
I love Stoneplate.
Took a set off and we're so back.
So the thing is like obviously like on Galio it's really good. But also like on all the Wardens it's really good as well. Because these units like don't have the base armor anymore. They just have the DR. So it's like the two best front lines both want it. So I'm down to just make it. It's always been incredible on stage 2. It's just falling off late game, and now that like Galio has the taunt, it's like so good.
Plus you're using 2 pretty shit components overall.
Yeah. I actually like Less Whisper a decent amount. It's really good in that like Senna comp. I also think it's BIS Ash, and it's like if Kaisa has ever met, it's also BIS Kaisa. Like Aurelia existing, if like Aurelia is the highest cap, maybe it goes down. I don't know. It's gonna like hover between these two tiers for like the rest of the set for me. Maybe just in this tier right now, just because of how mediocre AD is in general. But definitely can go up. I like DB a lot, honestly. I think it's better than I think it's better than IE. Because I feel like Ash and Aphelios spend more of their time auto attacking than ulting, and they don't like gain any like extra AD like Caitlyn used to. Just I mean it's really it's probably pretty good on like Xayah and Aurelia if they're like ever like meta as well. I don't know, it probably deserves this tier. I like it in general. Archangel, I think, is like always the definition of this tier. Good on Lilia, but pretty sure Deathcap is probably better. And he uses a tier, which can be relevant. I don't know. I think Archangel, like, unless it's like a broken item, it probably always goes in the win streak tier. Morello, is Morello an always slam? It's probably close. Lots of decent holders early. Like Teemo 1 can just hold it early, and then if you're ever playing around Morgana or like It's like a lot of Lakem holders. It's good on like a Loon.
Does Rakan hold late?
Yeah, Rakan can hold it. It's really good on Hwei. Like there's lots of Lakem holders, and there's Lakem holders that probably just makes it S tier. Nashor's is like, I think Nashor's situational. I don't believe it's that good on Syndra. I think I could be wrong though. Nashor's good on Syndra to be at least like Windstreak tier, but right now I think it's just
Lilia.
It's like it's probably like a mid item on Lilia, like guard breaker. It's like,
is it above mid on anyone?
No, it's probably just like mid on people, but it's like just like a Windstreak item. Like I don't think it's almost never though.
Yeah.
But it's just like mediocre.
Sometimes you're playing
I can use it.
and those are your components, and it just is what it is, right?
Yeah. QSS. I don't really like the item this much this set. I could be wrong about my take on it being. Oh wait, oops. I could be wrong on it being not good on Yone. If it was good on Yone, it's probably a lot better. Right now, I think it's just situational. It might even be almost never, like if you don't even want to build it on Yone. But
if you don't want to build it on Yone, when the fuck would you ever build this item?
I mean, like Kane, I guess as well. Maybe it's almost never then. Okay, you want to hear something hilarious? This Solus guy at the start of the set was just telling everyone that QSS was just like the best frontline item because he thought there was so much CC.
That's some Souls tech right there.
Yeah. Like he probably just played like 10 games with like set mirrors or something. He was like, I don't know. But I'm not done to make this item.
Souls tech is like Souls himself. The less you rely on it, the more you will have success.
True. I think Rabadon's is like, personally, I think it's an always slam. I think his item is just kind of overtuned.
It's gotta be. The item's broken. Everything is AP.
Yeah, I mean the argument against it being up here is like sometimes you would want like Gunblade Spark or something, but you can just use your brain. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Like the item itself is really really strong. Rebel's alright. Thing is like Morello's way better in the comps that like I think usually Morello's a lot better, and like a lot of these bow comps like actually want Gitsu now. But I guess that's probably just a make if you doesn't mess up like item econ though. Still, like if you need bows, you just don't make it. But if you don't, it's a pretty good slam. Redemption. I think it's just a tempo item. It's like fine. Like it's often one of the better like third items you can make on tank. But I'm really not trying to like slam it that often on like stage 2 and stage 3. But no, but that's like I can't really put it in the like slam for win streak though. So maybe it's this tier. Like it's actually like a pretty strong as your third item. Is Warmog's really better than Redemption in most cases? I mean it's better early, I think. So maybe. I don't know.
It probably depends a lot on the type of frontline you're playing around. Like if you're playing one of those boards that naturally plays 3 frontliners and you can get redemption value early, it's actually not that bad. But if you're playing selfish tank early, playing around Gargoyle, then obviously Moggs is better.
And then the thing is, like, you might want the tier. I think Runon's is... I don't know if it's situational or win streak tier. Probably situational. Just because, like, most of the units that want bow want Link into now.
What are the situations where you're happy to slam this item?
Like, you're playing around, like... it's like the second, like, 80 item you make, and you're just trying to, like, tempo stage 2 and stage 3. Like, if you have, like, a Sivir 2, you slam, like, a DB or Ginsu already.
I feel like we need the situational tier broken down into, like, situationally good and situationally mid.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, Edge of Night kind of... It just feels weird putting it... Like, Edge of Night's legitimately really good when you actually need it, whereas these other 3 items are not.
Yeah.
They're just like, I guess I have to slam it in this spot.
Nico asks, is Runon's not good for tempo? I mean, the thing is, it is, but then you run up into like late stage 3 and stage 4, and then your tempo stage 2 is like did it really matter that much?
Yeah.
Now you have a Runons you have to play around.
The more I see us do this list, the less I like your like descriptions. On the one hand, it is more
Yeah.
useful, but on the other hand, we wind up in spots like this where it's like, well, yeah, I mean, aren't all these kind of like some part of slamming items is always going to factor in tempo, but the problem is that Runins and Nashers and Guardbreaker don't have any places that you are even remotely enthusiastic about playing them at any point in time in the game. They're just always mid.
Yeah, the thing is though, like I think if you're just like ranking items like based on like perceived like power level, like you're just lacking like a lot of the nuance about it.
You are, but it's not just different from the unit tier list we just did, where you were like, well, this unit sucks, but because her tags are good, it's B tier or whatever. It's like, well, yeah, that's part of what goes into a tier list. You're factoring in a lot of things.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's fine. We know what you mean by it. I think it belongs in this tier because the items in the third tier are situational, but like actually kind of good in certain conditions.
Yeah. Runa's almost never. I mean, like I could see it, but like if we're doing Runa's almost never, it's also probably this as well.
Right.
And is this like actually the tier? Like honestly, there's a pretty good argument for this being true. Honestly, sure.
Yeah. Doesn't mean never.
And then maybe just QSS here and just like hedge that I was wrong about Yone.
I like it.
Shojin. It's like, yeah, it's pretty good because like Lilia. Usually the side gets overrated though, but it seems to me with like the mana map people have done, it's like probably good enough to put it here because it's also Hui. Like Hui's like the big reason why this Hui unit's so good. I don't know if it's an always slam though, but it's probably.
Are you a Shojin Kaisa believer?
I've played it a few times. It doesn't seem that bad. You just get her to cast twice with 4 trick shot. But I think like in theory, red buff does what Shojin does way better on Kaisa. I'm a Shojin hate watcher, same. But I don't know. I think it's fine this set. Shiv, I actually like Shiv a lot. I think Shiv is very good. But I don't think Shiv is ever like an always slam. I mean, honestly, it might be. I don't know. I like Shiv a lot this set. Because like you have like the bar that can hold it. Usually you're playing around like AP, stage 4 and 5, and there's like not that many units that give free shred. It's like a loon, but probably not an always slam. Steadfast, I think it's like kind of just worse than these other tank items. I think it's worse than Stoneplate, Adaptive, and Crown. And it's probably worse than these as well. And then like you're giving up a chain for Stoneplate, so it's probably just a slam for win streak kind of deal. Sterix is also probably situational. I think Heart's good because he uses the glove. Yeah. But the thing is, like, it's just not a better tank out of than this stuff, though. I think. In my opinion. I think Sterix probably also belongs in situational because it's like the third item you make if you have like a BT on something, but it's also like not like the ideal thing you want to make. But also it's probably going to be slammed away more than these items. So I think it probably deserves situational.
And much like Edge of Night, it is an item that you're actually excited about building when you're in the situation where you are building it. Right? Like when you're happily slamming it as like your third item on Gnar, third item on Kane or something, I'm assuming that you're really happy about that.
Oh, not really.
Oh, really?
Like it's fine. like it's acceptable. The thing about Gnar, like I think Double Titans clears like Sterix BT.
Gotcha.
Like after playing it, and I think Kane, you'd probably just want more damage.
Okay.
Sunfire is probably this tier, just fine. Honestly, TG might be an always slam with how I've rated these glove items. probably not that crazy.
The only glove you have in the top 2 tiers is Hodge.
Yeah.
So yeah, it would have to be, right?
Lots of decent TG holders as well. You got like Udyr and Silas.
Silas, yeah.
Or Khan as well. Yeah, that's probably an always slam. And then Titans. I think Titans got like a lot better this set. But I could just be like getting tricked by noobs. This item is usually not that good. But I think it's pretty good on, like, it's really good on Gnar. Like, Gnar's carrying this item in my perceptions a lot. It's also, I think it's good on Yone as well. But yeah, it's still kind of situational. But it's like a really good like tempo slam as well. A lot of the time, if you have any type of healing.
Who are the late game holders outside of the obvious melee carries, or is it
Uh,
like like? Let me rephrase that. So dropping Yone, is it good on Kane?
Yeah, it's okay on Ken.
Okay, and there's no other 4 costs, right?
Yeah,
And
like
then legendaries, is it okay on Wukong or not really?
it's fine on Wukong.
Udyr set, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's not bad. Being able to play around Kane or 3 different 5 costs.
Okay, but the thing is, like, if you go 9 and you're slamming Titans on any of those 5-cost 1-stars, your board is going to be very weak.
Yeah.
And I also don't think it's very good on Silas. Like, I think it's like kind of mid on him.
Lee.
Oh yeah, it's good on Lee, but then it's just like.
But then you're itemizing Lee.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it deserves this tier, but yeah. And then I don't really care to rank the components personally.
No, don't. That's pointless. Okay.
Kerm says, I have a question. If BT Titans bad on Silas, what's good? It's like either like Sunfire Spark or TG. In my opinion. I'm also down for like even trot on him and Yone. Like if you like I said this earlier, like if you're like investing in this guy to like actually be the man, like be him, he's not gonna be him. But if you just ignore him, like he's gonna like try to prove you wrong, you know? So you just gotta ignore him.
I like it.
Okay, what else were we doing? We did items.
Lines, right?
Yeah. I guess we can go over openers. I mean, there's like the faded opener. I guess we can go over that first. It's like, where are those you? Goes into like Aphelios slash Syndra, just because those are the faded mid late game holders.
On these boards, who are you fading?
Almost always Yasuo, like probably Yasuo Ari.
Okay.
And then, depending on what items you natural. Like if you natural like the blue buff and stuff, you can move that to Cinder. You natural like the Rage Blade and stuff, you can move from like Kindred to Aphelios. This is like a really, really straightforward line. Aphelios reroll. You can play these as your fadeds. It's either Kindred or Syndra as your last one, or Set. And then you just like fill out with Frontline. Like Orin fits in, then you want Sniper. Personally, like I always run like this board on 7+2. It's either like 5 faded with Syndra or 4 Sniper. It's probably not 4 Sniper because the units are not very good. So, but this is just something people will like optimize later on. Like you would just do something like this. But honestly, maybe you just do like the also front line. I don't know. But usually, like the faded line you actually play is the it's just the faded spat line.
Who holds faded spat?
Usually like Warden or like a Warden or not like a no, not a Warden. Usually like Warden, I think. It's Warden if you hit the set. Like this is like your like default like level 8, I guess.
Pretty cheap board.
Oh wait, it's to have 2 cinders in. This is level 7. And then like the dream is you're hitting like set, and then you either fit in like Silas or like another Warden or something like Alawi or not maybe. I think people usually just go Yasuo with Resh, because then you just have like a million shield in your whole team. And then, like you can even like frontline these units just because they're like 2000 HP, like infinite shield, do no damage, and then you can go like just like full damage on Syndra. I don't know, you just play whatever you hit with blue buff.
This line seems fun.
Yeah, I think it's like pretty reliant on Fated Spet though. Like I haven't really seen Cinders without Fated Spet do very well.
Is this your favorite? Is this your favorite spat to slam? What's your favorite spats to slam?
I think Porcelain's probably the best spat. I'm a sucker for like Heavenly Spat as well, but it's like Spat's a little bit niche. Yeah, it's usually like Porcelain, Faded, sometimes Mythic. Dryad Spat's like okay, but I'm not sure if it's like really that good in that InkShadow Narcomp. We can go over that later. I don't know. Like, this is a pretty straightforward comp to play.
Yep.
Maybe it's maybe it's good enough without Faded Emblem, but it seems like a Faded Emblem check to me.
And that opener is just an opener you're generically playing around, and you'll just hold AP and transition to whatever later.
Yeah. And there's like the Caitlyn / Sivir plus frontline into Ashe. I feel like that's pretty straightforward. You just try to get in I mean, like, this is like the opener I play the most, like the Storyver opener. Where's Rippin? And then you just high roll a Teemo. Where's Teemo? And then you
another Bruiser, another Warden.
Yeah, Bruiser Warden. And then you go like 80 on Sivir and then AP on Teemo, and then this like goes into every comp in the game.
Who's the AP that you pair with Ashe?
Syndra / Lysandra.
Okay.
Just think about other openers. There's like the hit 2 Umbral opener, and you just play, or like Darius Holder. This one's pretty good as well, just because Umbral is really powerful early.
And you're just slamming generic AP on Darius?
Yeah, like AP / melee. Like honestly, he can like kind of hold anything for like the purposes of tempoing.
Makes sense.
Like he could even
stats aren't bad on him.
Yeah, he can even hold like tank and AD because he attacks fast and he's a frontliner. So
Alan says 3 Faded Darius Yorick is the strongest opener.
Yeah. That's like the ideal when you hit this stuff as well. But like I'm just thinking of like level 4, like when you're leveling. Because like this board is trash, right?
Yeah.
So you just play these and then it is what it is. I guess we can go over reroll comps right now. I'll go over the reroll comps they probably want to be viable, but that they really, I don't think they're that good. There's like this Kazakh reroll comp that I've seen Takabo Wi-Fi play 10 times in a row, but it's always been mid. Like you would just itemize this Kazakh guy, but I don't know, he's just worse than Yone. You would just roll for like this board, hit Kazakh 3, Malphite 3. There is this mythic reroll.
You roll Kate there as well.
Yeah. And then where's Malphite? Like they're probably gonna make, like I would be shocked if they didn't like buff Kog'Maw and Cho'Gath enough for this comp to be like reroll viable, because this is like the perfect noob comp. You just like you can like hyper roll and then you can like slow roll for like the rest of the trash. But I just don't think this guy does enough damage personally. And then for other one cost reroll, like there's like the Garen hero augment one, I guess. You're just playing the Story Reaver opener basically. And then you like pivot to like more Story Reavers. I don't know. I haven't really played it. And then you would like 80 on Civ or something, probably like last Whisper. Oh no, you can go Shred and Kill though, so probably not. But yeah, I think one cost reroll is like really, really weak this set.
Just for now, doesn't mean it'll be weak the whole set.
Yeah. Oh, also, there's like Ari Faded reroll. Like, that's probably another one. You roll Ari Yasuo, and then it's just the Faded board, but you have an Ari3 and Yasuo 3. I think that's just worse than playing Tempo, probably. I could be wrong, though. I guess it's probably better to go over like 2-cost reroll as well. I don't know. I feel like discussing early game is kind of hard because it's usually just really situational, and I'm not like actually that well versed in it right now.
Yeah, I think the way that I would do it once you're deeper in the set is just talking about what are the openings you're excited to play around and how do those trees play out. Like when you get these openings, you know, natural item holders, tank transitions, that kind of thing. It's just hard to do at the very beginning of the set. You just don't have enough reps.
Yeah, usually I'm just like trying to play Umbrella or Story Reaver, and if I don't, I just lose.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, this Caitlyn comp, or this, sorry, not Caitlyn, this Senna Narkov is did really, really well in the tournament yesterday. I played it like 3 or 4 games. I think I top 4'd every time. But yeah, I don't know, really, really good, really, really easy. I'm not sure if it's like actually good or if it's just like people are just like punishing on optimized boards because it's like already really, really optimized.
Eye
But
test, Nor looks ridiculous to me.
yeah, but the thing is like like you could actually shut him down like in a few ways. Because he needs to take damage to like actually get AD, but it's like not impossible to burst it. Like Lissandra can fuck him up so hard. That kind of thing. And then ideally the dream is you hit an InkShadow backline tattoo on Senna. But every single time I played this comp I got like a frontline one, I just put it on Aatrox. But the gist of it is I think this is like the core BIS you want to build around. Double Titans BT Nar and LW Senna. The thing about InkShadow is like since it pops off, you can put a lot of them on Nar. Like when I played this comp, I had Force on Nar, and I also had a game with like the shield one and the vitality one. You just put them on your Nar for mid game, but it's never going to be better than a Titans late game. But it helps you out in your mid game a lot because you just get a 3-item carry, right? But yeah, this comp is really, really easy and really, really strong. Gonna be like really popular. But the thing is, I'm not sure. You might go 8th if you can contest it. I'm not sure about that one.
It's 2 costs, so theoretically you can both hit, but
yeah. I don't really understand this Janna comp. It had decent success. I believe the board is like, oh god, I'm already forgetting. Oh, Riven for sure. And Diana. Where the fuck is Diana? Oh, there she is. Okay.
So this is a roll on 7 line.
I think so.
Didn't they fuck with odds? Like,
yeah.
what's 2 cost odds on 7 now?
They nerfed it by 3%, I think.
Okay.
I mean, you probably roll like a decent amount on 6. Like, you're not gonna skip 6 in this comp.
Sure.
Like, you roll for like maybe like 5 Yanas or something.
It just feels weird because the perfect synergy board revolving around 2 4 costs.
Yeah, you can also
and 7 units is just, you know.
Yeah. Yes, 30% 2 cost on 7,
Okay.
but I don't know. You probably roll a decent amount on 6, but you probably are meant to push 7 before you hit Janna 3. I believe BIS Janna are these 2 items. I had like double Ginsu before I had Archangel, and this unit was terrible. And then I got Archangel, and then she was okay, but I got it too late, and I went 6th.
The Giga scaling build.
Yeah, I've seen this the most common. And then you just put whatever leftover AP you have on Soraka. I guess Kale would be your shred.
Do you even bother going for Zyra in this line?
Probably not. But yeah, probably not. I don't know. I don't want to like make too many statements about this because I
Totally.
have barely seen it. So
Yeah, just move on.
yeah.
Teemo.
Yo, yeah, Teemo. Bro, this is like the most disgusting synergy with 2 healthy I've ever seen. So we'll just do the 2 healthy board real quick because it's just you just vomit out a bunch of 2 costs on your board.
I mean, they're gonna have to nerf the augment or kill this line. It's gonna be one or the other.
No, the augment's also like really good in that lost comp I just showed you and Senna. So it's getting like I think it's gonna get a fat nerf. It probably should as well.
It's so funny how that works. Just the way the set gets designed. You know, these augments fluctuate in the relative strength.
Oh, it's not this. It's Aatrox before that, and then you can go Yorick on. Like your level 7 is just 6/2 cost. Like what? It's like so broken. Like 2 healthy was like good in last set where like you got like 3 max or like 4 if you were crazy, but this comp just fits in 6. Like what?
Yep.
But I don't know. This is like the 2 healthy board. Without 2 healthy, you roll for like. I don't know. Like the dream is you like high roll a Galio. But like Aatrox and item hold until you get the Galio 1, and then this board might suck without Galio. Like you just like fill in your traits. Like I don't know, random Warden, sure, GG's. But you hit the 1 Galio. And then on 7 you fit in the 4. 4 trick shot.
Is this enough frontline? Galio's that good?
Yeah. I mean the other thing is like this backline will just kill everything.
Is BIS Galio 3 gargoyles or is it?
It's probably like this, like Mog's, so he's like stable at 1 star, and 2 stars probably like redemption or something. But
yeah, this shit is literally multicasters.
yeah. But I don't know. I'm not sure how strong this version is without 2 healthy. It's like really reliant on like hitting the 1 Galio. But if you hit it, like I don't know, I've still seen it do really well. But the 2 healthy version is not balanced. What other reroll line is there? I don't know. I'm not a believer in like the Kindred Nard line anymore. I think the Senna version's just better. I mean, I guess we can go over the hero augments, but honestly, it's you just like vomit out a bunch of berserk or behemoths.
So they both play the same. You just play the vertical behemoth line.
Yeah, but then you like
obviously items are different, but
like yeah, we did it. We got 6 behemoth. I mean, Yorick probably plays 4. Shen actually scales off 6 behemoth.
And you like him second row, so he doesn't have to walk up.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, he hits units from backline, but I've seen people argue for second row because second row gives like when like a unit dies, like say you put Malphite here.
It's just more consistent uptime.
Yeah.
Oh, you want
like it like spreads the behemoth stats because like Shen scales off armor.
Makes sense.
I don't know. I don't think it's worth going over those. I think those lines are really niche.
I agree. 3 cost reroll.
Yeah. We kind of talked about affiliates already.
Yeah.
This is the way I play Bard. Actually, we can go over like the real version. Um, this is probably like the easier way to play it. It's still pretty good. Yeah, I'm moving up brain fart. Bruiser. It's just like 4 bruiser and then whatever mythic. It's like Lilia, and then I mean it's ideally it's like you hit a Hoi on 7, but Lilia's fine as well. And then this is like your level 7, and then you just reroll for Kenshin Bard. I think items just go on Galio though. This is the core. And then the way I play it is I just say fuck the reroll. I just like roll for Bard 2 and like level 6 or 7. I play like boards similar to this, and then I just go 9 for you either go 9 for 5 mythic or 4 trick shots. It probably just depends on whatever you upgrade and what your items are. And then eventually, I mean, you can like drop all like the 4 bruiser, like for like max cap, and play around stuff like I don't know, like Annie, Rakan, and then I don't know, like a lot of stuff. You can also go like Azir. I don't know, it's just flexible. I like just playing them to fast 9. But you can also reroll them and do really well.
Okay. Yone.
Yeah, Yone. Honestly, I don't really know how to play. Like, I don't know what the optimal board to play him without Spat is. I assume you don't want to play 4 Reaper without Spats. But the thing is, like, the units you would do end up playing is just kind of awkward sometimes. Oh, where's the lid?
Umbral's not craftable, right?
Umbral is craftable. I believe it's...
Oh, it is.
It's glove.
Okay. It's
Yeah,
interesting that you kill glove
not that,
in
not
Umbral.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because 4 Umbral sounds good to me if you're playing no Reaper Spat.
Yeah, I mean, like, you can go, like, some kind of the setup. And then you just might as well just fit in, like, a 4th Umbral.
Does a Lune 3 matter?
I mean, you might as well go for it as well. Like, the thing is, like, this board just looks like not that good. Is the thing. Like,
it's just hard to get the items that make sense, and you're not playing a real tank either, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the tank's that relevant.
Yeah, I guess you get the shielding off of the Umbral.
I don't know.
It's just like a win fast fight.
If you get Umbral Spat, you can go 6 Umbral, and the comp makes sense. If you get Reaper Spat, you can fit in a lot of other stuff as well. I have like played this exact board like a lot of times, like 4 Reaper 4 Umbral. I just have like never felt confident that this is what I was supposed to be playing. But I just don't know like the default level 7 no spat board. But it's like it's still strong. Like even this shit is still strong. But then like I feel like you just want to drop these two. And then you're like, okay, I'll fit in this guy for 2 traits, and then like bro, I'm like this board also looks pretty bad. So
yeah.
It's just hard to justify a lot of stuff for me with that spot.
Okay.
But I think Yone is still pretty good regardless. The duelist line is just all the duelists.
Just the duelist, yeah, you don't even need to do it. Like it's fine.
Okay, sure.
I mean, if you want to, just for completion, you're doing the whole set.
No, like no, but like the thing is, like you laugh, but like some people are like would like actually like be confused, like, do I play Darius or Yasuo? Like this is really important to me. Even like something like that. I don't know. I've only seen this do like fine. When you hit Aurelia, you hit Tristana 3, and you can also go 8 duelist. Whereas.
Oh, it's not craftable.
Nah, it's like a spat comp or like a augment comp.
What's the 6 to 8 jump?
Uh, 5 extra and then 6 extra DR.
Pretty good.
But like your level 7 looks something like this with spat. And then probably Sage, honestly. Ideally just high roll like a Wukong, but I don't know. There's also like dual spat Yone, but I think it's just worse than normal. I'm not a believer.
Oh.
But I don't know. It actually might be good at like some point this set. It's just hard to fit in like Reaper and stuff as well. Other 3 cost. I don't know what the Zoe line is, but I know Cien plays around it a decent amount, and I've like seen it do well in my games, but I just don't feel confident like talking about it. I assume you want this unit on your board, and then maybe you want Gallia Riven because that just makes like these units are fine.
Gets you your shred. Plays you a Galio. 2 bruiser. Seems good.
And then past this, I don't know, because like I'm just not down to play these that many of these Arcanist units.
I'll just let data decide this. Like, I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, so someone else will figure it out for me.
Yep. Okay, 4 cost lines.
This is Ash Warden is like the main way you play Ash. It's somewhat reliant on hitting like a set, because the board is kind of mid without it. And then, like if you had set, this is like the dream. And then you probably want like Ghostly in somehow. Often you can go like if you're not playing around Faded, you can just go like Caitlyn for Ghostly. If you get Sniper Spat, you can do like this. This just works and it's pretty good. If you get Porcelain Spat, you can like drop the Fadeds for. Where's the guy? Oh, it's 5 cost.
Dude, this board looks so good.
And then you just have like another slot. Like you can play like one of like the utility 5 costs.
Yeah.
Like this or
Udyr.
Yeah, or Wei.
Yeah, this board looks insane. You just play your unit quality is just so high.
It's fairly reliant on like hitting these 5 costs though, because like without it, I don't know. You're playing like a random Gnar, like maybe you fit in like an Ornn or something with it, and then you were just gonna fall apart without the 5 costs. But like with like the one set with like the one Lysandra, you can definitely like play for top 2.
You have to hit something.
True. I've been liking this build on Ash. If you get Shred, obviously, you can go like DB or GS instead of one of these. Other 4 costs. Guess we go for Lilia. This is like the this is like the this is like the dream.
Fucking board is.
Oh yeah, but like it wins so many games because of it. Like everything just fits.
I'm assuming you play Janna and then you play a dragon.
Yeah, you can like work on later.
Yeah. This board.
I do not recognize these.
Board is the Giga Nuts.
Yeah, like this is like very often like what wins games on 9. Like you're still just playing around like Lilia because it just makes sense. Fit like half the 5 costs in the game.
Honestly, I kind of like that there's a bunch of AP level 9 and 10 to be played. I feel like almost every set you want it playing around AD at level 9 and 10 like more often than not.
Yeah. And then like you're not even tied into like 4 Invoker and all this stuff. Like you can actually like drop these for like Warden. Like you can allow E2 into set 2 or something, and then I don't know. You can also play around like Bruisers. Like I play Galio Lily a lot of the time. It's like so flexible. You can use every single frontline in the game. Use like every single 5 cost in the game.
Yeah, I assumed like Galio, Silas, Lilia, or not Galio, right? You play a TK for your last mythic theoretically.
Yeah, someone saying Set of Loons better than Rakanjana. Yeah, I agree with that. I just like to remember that off the top of my head. Yeah, like something like this is probably like the ideal setup. But yeah, this comp is like the fucking nuts. Probably
Yeah,
like yeah. Sorry, what
this
was you gonna
board
say?
state this board state's crazy flexible because like you can still build this board without 5 costs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's just like it's one of those boards that you can play around some of the like decent 2 and 3 cost units, and then naturally transition to legendaries as you hit them.
Mm-hmm. Like a loon can be a really good item holder for both these other 5 costs, and you can play around like a Silas frontline over set beforehand. You can play around like the broken 3 cost wardens before as well. You can play around like Galio, Kench as well.
Galio Kench instead, yeah.
But yeah, super flexible, uh, and like really strong as well. Like I think it is like the best line for that's not reroll, and it often just beats reroll if it ever gets to level 9 and hits units. There's also like this flex. It's pretty similar to like the Yone stuff, but you're just not rerolling Yone, so you don't stay on 7. You get like the extra slot on 8. I've seen people really hype up like 4 Ghostly. I'm just I haven't really played around it that much. And then you want like at least some Sage. I don't know, like this board's also like really flex. You can fit in so much stuff. You can fit in like 4 Ghostly. You can go 4 Bruiser. You can like fit in a random Kale. You can play around like 4 Umbral maybe with like a Loon and set. But the gist of it is that you're probably playing around these 5, and your items in like Silas Kane and then Morello Morgana. Often this is the kind of board you can easily fit an Umbral into, because like these are like the only real core of the comp. So if like one of these units is exalted, you can probably fit in the other 2 without that much of trouble.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm often playing exalted around this. What are their 4 costs?
Isa, but Keck.
Yeah, I mean, if
What is
Kaisa's like
what
if they make Kaisa good, it's gonna be like something like this. This will be the like I'm certain at some point in the set this will be a board.
I mean,
Right
on
now,
paper, this board looks really good.
yeah. But you also play it with like a Story Reaver with the Sivir as well.
The
But
weird thing about this is that it's as they fix Zaya and Kaisa, they're for sure gonna nerf Warden. So you're gonna be this line's gonna wind up being really reliant on some of these like 5 cost. I guess you can just play like the Galio set until or Gal you can just play like Galio Silas or something until you get Udyr set, but
yeah, the board works with Bruiser as well.
is there a 2 cost Bruiser InkShadow or no?
Yeah, it's Aatrox. So like it like the board definitely like fits together somewhat.
Okay.
It's just this board is just not that good. It is what it
Yeah.
is.
I feel like some of the trait webbing work this set. I want to see how it all plays, but just on paper, it feels like some of the trait webbing work this set is better than I've seen in the past. Like it might be the best they've ever done.
Yeah, I could see that. I haven't really thought about it that much, honestly.
It's interesting about coming at this stuff like with having not played it all, because I'm literally just looking at the set like on paper, right? You're explaining it to me like from a design perspective more than from like how it's actually going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another forecast line I haven't really seen like actually get popular, but I have a lot of like belief in is this line. I played it like 4 or 5 times and it's never gone badly. Uh, but you probably need a heavenly spot for it.
He says forecast line, and he proceeds to put no forecast on the
Oh
board.
no, but you play it the exact same as a forecast comp. Like it has the exact same tempo. That's kind of how I'm thinking about it.
So you play, yeah.
Yeah. So you play like you play king carry with heavenly, and then it's like really good with the heavenly spot. Like I've gone Giga first with the setup like 3 times.
Wait, why is Kane carry double Titans in the setup?
So usually like Titans, like your unit doesn't stay alive long enough to like actually like benefit from like, because usually like stacks up too slow and then
Yeah.
and like you're just not getting that much value to Titans. But like getting 7 heavenly in and like getting the extra omni event from like Sage, like you're just like activating every single possible like extra power source for this unit, so you actually get your Titans up really early. You just frontline them, and then he's gonna 1v9 everything. So it's just kind of one of his best items.
Can
You
you hover 7 heavenly so I can see what the stats look like? So he's getting
the bonus is also increased based on star level of the heavenlies. I think it's like 50%
wow.
extra for everything that's 2-starred.
Okay.
I
Yeah, I
don't,
mean that's a lot.
but yeah,
Like,
I don't know. I don't see other people play it, so like I'm not sure if I'm just like tricking noobs.
okay.
Oh, apparently it's 30%. I mean that's still fine.
It's still a lot.
Um, in theory, I thought this comp was gonna be really good because it also like Lee Sin holds the exact same, and like these synergies also work. Like you still like get the Sage in plus his trait, but the thing is like Lee Sin's just not as good as
Yeah.
Can.
If you
I
could get, I mean, this board's so cheap. If you can get to 9 on it, you could theoretically like full pivot
Yeah,
into
yeah.
legendary soup.
I've also just like got 9 and not pivoted and then win,
Hmm.
but I don't know if I'm just not going up against optimized boards.
Probably.
But like you can like upgrade Wukong and like play like a random like Wei 2 or something. So you would have like 3 Giga carries
Okay.
or like a Rakan 2 or something. I don't know. This is like a personal favorite of mine, and I'm probably gonna play it if I get a heavenly spot. But I don't know if I'd recommend it to other people.
This is gonna be a Dishsoap signature.
Yeah.
Love it. Any other forecast lines? I don't think so, right? We've talked about all the
Yeah, we
carries.
talked about all the
Okay.
carries.
Okay, what about non-Lilia versions of legendary soup? Like what are your highest cap boards?
You're definitely putting 3 items on Hui. That's like default. Eventually it's like it's probably like Aurelia. Like I mean, we can go over the Aurelia board as well when they fix that. Alright, not that. I mean, the thing is, it's still the Lilia board, but like you, like I don't know, it's still just the Lilia board.
Yeah, makes sense.
So like I don't know, do you want me to build the Lilia board again? Because that's what you're playing.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, well, I mean, what's the AD version? Like, surely there's like a, in theory, AD version, right? Because the Aurelia gets to play around Dragon really easily.
Yeah, the 80 full cap is a 4 Dragonlord, I think,
Okay.
but it's just Aurelia bug fix slash buff waiting room for this to be good.
Okay.
What else do you play? Probably play Wukong and the guy Soraka. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I assume you just want to play like Set or Udyr, like it's, just play the broken frontliners.
Yeah. Oh, Riven Gallia. Hmm. Yeah.
I mean, you can play Galio. I could see it. And then you get Shred.
No, but you already have Shred from Aurelia.
Oh, really? Shreds?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I guess like you go attack speed on this. Yeah, I'm down for like Azir or Nudir instead. Honestly. I don't know. It probably just depends on like what you upgrade. Because if you're like going 9 and you're rolling for Aurelia 2, you probably don't have enough money to spend on like 5 quests frontline. So you would and you're probably already playing around Galio already. Like you're not gonna skip Galios. So like leveling and playing around this board and spending all your gold on upgrading these 5 costs instead of like rolling for other stuff might just be like more optimal.
Cool.
Usually don't play Janna. Yeah, I could see it. But I mean, I thought that 3 Dragon Lord was kind of mid. That was like my read on it.
Dude, it goes to 45% AD.
Oh no, that's 5. You need spat for that.
Oh, that's 5. Oh, okay.
Forge adds the stun. You don't get the stun at 3.
Okay. I mean, a 1.5 second stun board wide is pretty fucking good.
Yeah, I
mean, there's no way it's gonna be max cap, right? Like for sure, max cap is gonna involve dropping Janna, dropping Story Weaver, playing a bunch more gold units.
For sure. And then someone's asking if you need a second carry. I mean, you can itemize Wukong, Rakan, Lee Sin, like maybe Soraka sometimes.
Sure.
Like I don't think you're lacking people to put items on. But yeah.
Okay.
If the Exalted makes sense, you can fit Exalted as well. Yeah, I guess. I mean, there's probably stuff I skipped, but I don't know. I feel like that was fairly comprehensive.
That was super fucking comprehensive. Thank you so much. That was awesome.
W Glaze. TFT Academy live in. Okay, like I don't want to confirm it because we like there. It's possible we delay it a couple of days, but the goal is to launch at the end of this timer. And yeah, go subscribe to my YouTube as well.
Boom.
See you guys later. People buy. Actually, I should probably raid someone.
That's right, Dan. Fuck it. That way, more TFT Academy shilling. Just keep the continuity.
True. You can just remind people.